Last time on Square Roots, Tio finds a graveyard of herself, a sword is bigger than expected, and Elena and Millennia finally split. Also, the Pope flies to the moon, and Celine makes an interesting point. Say what you will about her, she had heart.
Are you saying her heart will go on?
Absolutely. It absolutely will. On the moon with the Pope.
Get it, because Celine?
I do get it. But...
Leave this all in, this is gold.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Hello.
Johnny Zera Brandon.
I'm a space pope.
And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is the podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunk at a time. And this is episode last of Grandia 2.
Well said.
Thank you.
Was it?
Episode 6. We got through this one pretty quick, I think, considering it's like a, like a full-scale JRPG.
Yeah, because someone chose insanely long chunkers.
I did. We did have one, I guess two particularly long chunkers there in the middle.
I think it's a little shorter than most JRPGs, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. There's like no side stuff really in this game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
Like
main story
plot
42 hours, main plus sides 55 hours. We did get through this one pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. What's the sides?
What's
there's
side?
one
Did it take you
dungeon.
13 hours
Yeah.
to do the ruins?
I maxed out every egg, although I feel like there's one more egg I didn't get. I got like 7 eggs.
Did you get the dragon?
Dragon?
Dragon egg?
I didn't. Where'd you get that?
It's the
Is
last
that the
egg.
one with dragons at?
You get it in... No, you have Dragon's App early on. You get it in Valmar, New Valmar, I think.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh,
That's
yeah, you're
okay.
right. That's where you get the final egg.
I couldn't... Yeah, I maxed out all of them except for that one. I couldn't quite get enough magic. Oh, it felt like all the... Why are we talking about this right now? You know what?
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome
Good
to
point.
Square
Good
Roots,
point. Good point.
where we fuck up and do things in the backwards order every single week. So here's how I
Yay.
leveled up.
No, it's hot gaming news time. There's some hot gaming news.
There is some hot gaming news.
Let's see. Microsoft announced a price increase on their hardware.
Whoa. Why?
Big
Why?
old price hike.
Is it better?
Why?
Tariffs.
Are they adding more
Tariffs.
memory or
These guys are
performance?
greedy.
Nope. Yeah. Cash grab.
Is it just the U.S. one due to tariffs?
I don't know, actually. Is that true?
That is an excellent question. Is it in the U.S. only?
If so, it seems like a hostile political action.
Yeah, it is. It is a hostile political action because it is the U.S.
Wow.
Price increases are taking effect globally.
Oh,
More like Wokrosoft.
Yeah, it's a global price hike.
I didn't see anything global.
I mean, I'm reading an
Well,
article.
Matt just told you.
Oh, well.
You think
then
he's making it up? You
I'm
think
reading
he's
a
lying?
different article, I guess.
IGN
Just
says
talking about-
price
Wow,
increases
fake
will
news.
take effect globally with the exception of headset prices, which are only going up in the U.S. and Canada.
Oh,
IGN also says that we should expect to
Suck
see
it,
them
Canada.
start charging $80 for new first-party games around the holiday
I
season.
don't want
So,
$80 for a first party game.
cash grab.
Good thing there hasn't been a good first-party game from Microsoft in a while.
Wow.
well, I mean, Oblivion.
The prices don't even really make sense. Some of them are
that
going
first
up by
party?
$80. Some of them are going up by $100. This one's going up by $130.
Avowed. That's
you,
That's a
Microsoft.
Microsoft game. Oblivion. They're good. There's been actually, I think this has been a better year for Xbox than it
that's
has
right,
for
yeah.
PS5, which has had what, crickets?
Yeah, I agree
But
with
the
Johnny.
sales
I agree
for
with
the
Johnny.
Xbox are so much worse.
Well,
The console or the games?
the game, the console.
I mean, yeah, the
first
console,
party games
but
come. I'm not surprised with Game Pass that their first party games aren't selling as well. It really makes you wonder why they have Game Pass.
like I could get on my TV, I could be playing Oblivion right now without an Xbox.
We could all be playing Oblivion right now, Johnny, but we have a podcast
Guys,
to do.
we all have an Oblivion we'd rather be playing right now than doing this.
I've been editing anyway. I don't like what the Xbox sales are already trash. What's this gonna do? Like, I know they don't want to subsidize prices, and the tariffs are a big thing, but they aren't increasing in Canada. There's no tariffs that are going to be a problem here. So I don't know.
Maybe they're just like slowing production down, and they're trying to kind of cool demand so they don't have to worry about bringing more in.
Yeah,
That's possible.
Google's garbage
That
AI.
way they can sit on some inventory for the holiday.
Google's garbage AI says that estimates vary, but a financial report suggests that they sold 30 million units worldwide. That doesn't seem bad to me. I don't understand what a good number is if 30 million is not a good number.
well, that's like what the Master System sold, but the Master System did well in like Brazil and Europe and stuff, right?
Master System? What are you talking about?
The old Sega. You know how like the NES sold 150 million, and that's like a big hit, but the Sega
Yeah.
Master System only sold like 30 million.
John, you said your TV has the Xbox gateway on it.
I think so.
Right?
I think it does.
So does mine, and it's interesting because I wonder like if more of the demand for their games is shifting to platforms like that, and so hardware is maybe not.
That's their goal.
they're
Like
not
they want to
relying
move
so
away
much
from
on
hardware
yeah.
because of the the fixed prices or like the fluctuating prices of currency and demand
Yeah.
for chips, which has been in the past 5 years has been crazy and hard to keep a stable pricing on.
Oh, wow. So Google's garbage AI says that the PlayStation 5 has sold an estimated 74 million units.
Yeah, so over
It's a lot.
twice. Yeah, that is a
Hey,
lot.
got some hot gaming news.
Hang on.
What
hang
is
on,
it?
Hang on. The Switch has sold 150 million units.
Yeah, like the PS2 and the NES and the Game Boy.
Okay. I just thought that was all interesting contextual information. Vanessa, please go ahead with your hot gaming news. It better not be about Taskmaster.
It's not. They're selling that Polygon. Old
Really?
Polygon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to a click farm.
Valnet,
Going to
right?
Click Farm. They're firing
Yep.
everyone. They're sick of video game journalism. They're not going to do it anymore.
Wait, they're
Well, there's
gonna
no
They're
ethics
gonna
in
just
it,
make
so
it.
that's-
Oh no, that's the giant.
they're
bomb
sending
thing.
they're sending the Polygon staff to a farm where they get to run and play for the rest of their lives. That sounds nice.
They're all going upstate.
Aw. As long as they get a nice home like that. Chris Plant
Yeah,
just
it's-
running wild.
It's a,
A
pity
similar
'cause-
thing is happening to Giant Bomb
Yeah.
too, where fandom essentially wanted to kind of, from how I understand it, kind of reformat the show to make it more like PG-13.
Oh, I heard that.
And I guess there was like on an episode recently, they just made fun of it the entire time. Like they had warning bells and alarms that would go off whenever somebody cursed. and I guess that was basically the last episode.
I want to hear that episode.
So yeah, that's a bummer thing too.
I saw a quote
But-
from some guy who said that he thinks that in the future, when AI has, replaced almost everything, venture capitalism will be the only job being done by humans because it's such a delicate art, and it's not about
They're so good at it.
numbers and it's not something a computer can do. It's just like feelings and mastery and nuance,
No, I bet people are already getting venture capital AI bots to like do their purchasing and terrible decisions for them because that's the sort of shit that dum-dums do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I work 2 hours a week and my AI venture capitalism bot does the work for me.
Exactly.
What do they think they're going to be able to buy if people stop making things? Well, never mind. It's not my business.
That's none of my business. Oh, man. Claire Obscure sold a bunch. Sold a lot of Claire Obscures since it was released a week ago, I think, as of this recording. Yeah. Sold like 1 million or 1.5 million copies. And that does not include Game Pass. It's a day one Game Pass game. So that's pretty cool for the first game from a new developer.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
And I know you love that game. It's your new girlfriend.
Pretty good.
You kiss Claire Obscure goodnight every night before you go to bed.
Yep, I took Amanda's ring and I put it on Claire Obscure.
Aw. How does Amanda feel about that? Or was she asleep at the time?
She understands.
Oh, okay. That's good.
No, it's
She
a good
has
game.
horse now, you know? She has other people to find comfort in.
She has
Yeah.
what?
Her horse.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a
horse.
She has whores, Johnny.
She has horse.
Man whores. That she parades into the house every night.
No, Claire Obscure is stinking good. And if you haven't played it, you
This
should.
is a news segment, Jim. We're not here for your fucking opinions.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to color
You're going to
it.
talk
Just trying
about
to
it for
color the
an
news
hour
a
at the end
bit.
of this show.
It's true.
Talk
it's
about
true.
it for a little bit. For a little bit.
Claire Obscure is okay.
Now he's talking about it. The accuser has become the accused.
Well, you know, you got to push back on dangerous opinions. What is this, Joe Rogan? Is this the Joe Rogan podcast?
So EA,
He feels really bad these days about what he did, and he's really had some time to think about it.
Who? Jim?
No.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Jim Rogan.
Yep.
EA bought Codemasters, who makes one of my favorite series of games, the Dirt Rally games and the Dirt regular games. They're fun rally off-road games, and they're like, well, we just bought this developer, and that's pretty much all they do is F1 and Dirt Rally games, but yeah, we don't need to make those anymore. So, wait, why did you buy the developer that makes them just to make them to stop making... I don't
mean, ask
understand.
Microsoft that. Well, they've been doing it for years. Let's buy a developer, have them make one game, and then shut them down.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Codemasters has been going on since the early 80s and have made amazing games for years, and now, I don't know, who knows? They just bought them to close them, I guess. Ugh. Stupid tax write-offs.
It's a garbage economy we live in. Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say about it. Who knows whose fault it is?
Also, Titan. There was going to be a Titanfall extraction shooter.
Oh, is that what Titanfall 3 was supposed to be?
Yeah, and that's being canceled.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I heard a
Bummer.
rumor about everybody's favorite franchise, PUBG.
Yay!
PUBG is rumored to be releasing 3 PUBG spin-offs soonish or whenever, I don't know. To be working on 3 PUBG spin-offs. One of them we already know about. It's like that top-down shooter. Kind of looks like a
the
Rainbow
one that's like
Six.
an XCOM-y sort of thing.
Right, that thing.
Oh, yeah. Is there like a PUBG Babies?
Well, Jim, it's funny that you asked that. First of all, they're rumored to be working on a game called, I think, PUBG Black Budget, which is a PUBG-flavored extraction shooter. And then a third PUBG game, which I believe is called PUBG for Babies and is a console-exclusive PUBG Battle Royale.
What is an extraction shooter?
Like the Escape from Tarkov games, where you...
Where you
What
go
is
in a
that?
place and you got to shoot your way out and then get out.
Yeah, it's more about like finding loot and getting out than it is about fighting the enemy. A lot of it, from what I've watched, looks like it's more about sneaking around and not getting caught. It's PvPvE, so there's like bots. Like the Division is an extraction shooter,
And
I
you can
think.
like find a cool in some of them. I think like the Tarkov one, you can find a cool gun and then it's in your account forever. Unless you bring it to the next game and die and lose the gun, then it's gone from your account. I think you can also lose guns you bought with real money. I'm pretty sure is a thing that some of these games have, which you can tell makes the accountant people at these game companies like, yeah.
Well, it's risk and reward. I can see that being a positive to some people. You know, high risk, high reward. Like, you really like this gun, but you can lose it.
But if you don't ever use it, then what's the point of having it?
I mean, but then you use it, you lose it, you get it again, and you stick it in your nose. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not super interested in the first two of those. But hey, if they actually are going to make a new battle royale, a new PUBG battle royale just for consoles, like, I know I'll check it out.
Oh, hey, that sounds neat.
Yeah, I mean, I like.
So, wait, hold on. Is this like a PUBG 2.0 kind of thing?
I don't know. You know, I don't know. They had plans at one point to do PUBG 2, and they abandoned them and took the maps they were working on and released them in PUBG. That's what the latest maps in PUBG are.
Like,
so
they already have PUBG on the consoles. Like, there's going to be just another version of PUBG.
I guess. I don't.
Okay.
I told you everything I know. You know, I don't work for the studio, so you know, my uncle does. I'll call him after this recording and see if he can give me the inside scoop. But you know, I like PUBG.
Seth
Anyway.
Rogen's coming to Fortnite, and everyone's really excited about it.
Nobody's
Oh, wow.
excited.
Whoa, cool.
He's from Vancouver.
Wait, it's Call of Duty.
In Vancouver, on public transit, sometimes the transit, like the little PA messages they have on our subway system. Sometimes it's Seth Rogen. He's like, "Hey, it's Seth Rogen here. You better keep these trains neat and clean for me, Snoochie Boochies." I'm not kidding. They really do have Seth Rogen voiceovers on the train sometimes.
I believe you.
Speaking of
fun.
Fortnite, I also heard that, and I can't remember the name, but whatever Star Wars' new animated series is, I think this one's about Darth Maul. Anyway, that apparently is going to debut in Fortnite.
The
In-
People are
Marvelous
still
Mr.
debuting
Sith.
shit in Fortnite? God.
What if Darth Maul was a Paul Blart Mall Cop? I think it would go a bit like this. Darth Mall Cop.
Are you going to do the impression? It's not hard because he doesn't fucking speak in that movie.
Yeah,
well,
I
he,
guess that was
I think
the
it would go
end of
something
his
like this.
impression.
Silence.
he does. Well, he speaks in that one Solo. He spoke in Solo. Spoiler.
Yeah, he does speak in Solo. He was in. He was
The
in
Clone
the
Wars.
Clone Wars. Yeah, I didn't watch much of that, so I don't know. But anywho,
I
is
do
there
wanna
anything
make
else?
Sure that yes,
Go ahead.
I have a correction. It's not Fortnite that Seth Rogen's going to be in. It's Call of Duty.
Wow.
Equally stupid.
What? Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty is Fortnite for slightly older.
Are you ready for Sydney Sweeney in Michael Bay's Outrun, the movie?
I don't know if I'm ever really ready for Sydney Sweeney. I mean, she's fine, and I have nothing against her, but also I think she might be a mega. That's what they say.
Well,
She might
I
be
mean,
a
Michael
magi.
You should
Bay.
watch that immaculate horror movie on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's,
Remember
Good-
Michael Bay made that
good Sydney Sweeney
COVID,
movie.
like, they're just trying to keep you indoors movie?
Yeah.
yeah.
Michael Bay, I know I work in the film industry and I want to keep getting contracts, so don't tell anyone I said this, is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he seems like a huge piece of shit, and
Yeah.
I don't care for him or his movies. I can't remember the last time I watched a Michael Bay movie that was remotely good. None of them. All the Transformers movies,
I
garbage.
hate his fucking movies. They're garbage.
Yeah, they're trash. He's a shit director. So, GTA suspected release date? I thought we already had a release date announced.
No, they've yet to announce a release date. This is just a rumor. This is as of now uncorroborated. It's an internet legend, but Borderlands 4 moved up their release date by I think it was 9 or 11 days, and everyone on the internet is pretty sure, or they suspect that they're moving it away because that's when the new GTA is going to release.
Is Borderlands
And
still part of
when would
Take-Two?
that be, Jim?
Who am I answering?
Vanessa. Then you can answer me after.
Okay.
What did Vanessa ask?
When is the suspected date, Jim?
I believe I just had it pulled up here. It is. Hold on. September 23rd.
Now, see, that's a huge mistake because Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out in October, and everyone's just going to be wanting playing that. They're not going to buy a game that they're going to have to get into I mean, what if Bloodlines comes out on October 1st?
You waited for me to scan that entire stupid article to find that date just so you could tell your little joke. I think that's it. I think that's all the hot gaming news there is.
Yeah, definitely nothing else important or major has happened in the world in the last week, so...
Well, we aren't
Let's
talking
move on and talk about our...
important things.
Let's talk about...
The Pope died.
We already talked about
we
that.
can talk about Carney if you want to. Let's talk about Carnival Games.
Let's talk about Pizza Bowl.
Of Johnny's new prime minister.
I do have I mean, it's the same prime minister as before because he's been prime minister for a couple of months now. But yeah.
Yeah, but now he has that new prime minister smell.
It's true. He won a minority government.
He earned it.
It's going to be tricky because he's going to have to work with the NDP and the Bloc Québécois to pass anything since they are not a majority. So who knows how long this government may last. It may not be a year. It may be a shorter one than that. I think if Trump's stupid tariff stuff goes away, the conservatives will win. But who knows? Trump seems real keen on keeping going with those. That's my politics corner. Let's move on. Matt, did you stream anything yesterday? I've been sick.
No, you were sick, so we didn't stream.
I'm sorry, friends.
Yep, we did not stream last week, but we do have our mostly regular Wednesday night streams you can check out over on YouTube. Currently, Johnny is streaming a game called Snatcher.
Yeah. Snatcher.
And, who knows what we'll play after that? No idea, but...
It's a great game about Terminators that are also Blade Runners. Well, no, they're not. They aren't Blade Runners. They're Terminators that are also replicants. But also caused by a virus? It's very confusing.
But also there are Blade Runners.
And snatching. So we have a lot of great streams on there. Jim recently wrapped up a Kingdom Hearts 2 run. Vanessa played her all-time favorite game, Journey Boys 3 Journey Through Time. We have recently streamed Final Fantasy VI Chrono Trigger Illusion of Gaia. Phantasy Star 1. Remember that one? Wow.
Yeah.
And a few others, plus the occasional kind of random stream of hot new games or
Snatcher?
horror games, or I just said
What's after Snatcher?
I don't know. I guess
Snatcher.
I guess that's Matt stream time.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start thinking about it. I haven't really given it much consideration. Would be fun.
Marvel Rivals is getting a swimsuit collection, Matt.
Cool.
So you want him to stream Marvel Rivals so you can see all those?
Yeah,
Marvel
put
babes
is
in there.
Beast in there?
Skimpy
Put Beast in his
No,
slutty
Beast
little
isn't in
Speedo.
there. I do not think that my laptop is powerful enough to stream Marvel Rivals. Anywho, and go check that out. Just search up Square Roots Podcast over on YouTube to find us. It is a good fun time, and if you join in while we are live, we are active with the chat, which is nice, I think. Still a small enough stream that you can get in and chit-chat with us, because, I hate the streams where it's a wall of text blowing by every second.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's not fun. Anyway,
Especially streams that have their own memes, so everyone's just like,
yeah.
Dingle dongle, dingle dongle, jingle. Oh, that's a dingle dongle, ding
Yep.
ding dong.
So go check that out. Johnny, would you like to tell us about Bears in Games Neo, your own personal hot new channel?
Yeah, I'm halfway through the next video edit. And since I've taken a couple days off because I'm a sick boy, I'll probably put another... I edited 10 minutes last night, which is a good total. So I'm going to try and edit another 10 minutes tonight. It's
Whoa,
about...
that's
Do you
a
generally
dingle
do
dongle.
it in 10-minute increments?
Well, I do it as much as I can. I think 10 minutes is sort of around when I'm like, all right, I'm done for today. You know, like...
It
that
takes
was
a long time to edit 10 minutes of film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cutting my audio track down. I'm finding little snippets to put in. Anytime that main character talks about murder, I'm putting a little subliminal blip of Iggy Azalea saying, I'm in the murder business. So, you know, that takes time because he talks about murder a lot. And I have to put in... And drugs, I'm either putting in, I'm Danny, or Marilyn Manson saying, drugs.
Danny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, otherwise I'm working
Where
on
can they
and
find that?
I'll do some short ones after this one is out because I need more videos on my channel, and taking 2 months to do a long video is always kind of a bad idea. I should be doing like both. But I'm not doing this professionally. This is a hobby, so I have to pace myself.
Side hustle.
Yeah, it's a side hustle. Anyway, so Jim, why don't you crack open this quest log?
Ooh. Well, we left off last time. We lost our good friend Merrig. Merrig is super dead.
But everyone
And
else comes
so is
back in this
Millennia.
game. Yeah, Millennia dead
question.
too.
Speaking of Merrig and his death scene that I asked myself 10 times while I was editing last weekend, what's a Tiddy? What's that mean?
Bara Tiddy? Oh, Bara is like the masculine men manga. So like not the like twink boy, like the yaoi style manga. There's like the the feminine teen boy mangas, which are called yaoi, and then there's Bara, which are like the big burly men manga.
No, I've never
And
heard
titties
of
are is like slang for like boobs, for like man boobs too. I mean, it's for all boobs.
Oh.
that.
Like, women can
Titties
have
were slang
titties.
for
Okay.
balls.
No, I'm talking about his big.
I've been using it
Chest.
wrong.
I keep
Yeah.
saying that my
Yeah.
titties keep slapping against my leg. People must be so confused.
It makes more sense that it would be short for testicles because that
Yeah.
has like the 2 T's in it.
Yeah.
Well, but it's titties.
yeah.
Yeah, but that
Testes.
doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Well, because
Is-
an animal
is-
has a
is
teat,
titties-
Vanessa.
Tid.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
We milk the teats on the
TIDDIES. Tiddies.
Teddies?
And-
Titties.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say titties if you want. That
I
sounds pretty
don't
funny,
want
actually.
to actually, and after I did not enjoy that experience.
What did I say last week?
I
We
don't
were
think I'll do
gonna.
it again.
Or what, I said something, and John said we should start calling the quest log that. What was it? Like video game time or something? Welcome to video game time.
Yeah, video game time.
You know, maybe we should just rename the whole show "Video Game Time."
Yeah,
Just
video
like,
game
name.
time.
I don't
make
hate
it clear
that.
what people are in for.
That is sometimes what I tell Amanda when I'm going to go play a video game. I'll just say, it's video game time.
All right,
All right,
Jim.
so, yeah, Merrig's super dead. We are back in Cyrim Kingdom. Rowan is here. He has a new stupid haircut. He has a really dumb looking bob.
It's kind of a Karen almost. Like he does look like he's gonna
Yeah,
ask
John, we said
for
in the episode that you missed, I said he. In the episode that you missed, I said he looks like Cabin Boy.
Probably important to point out that all the little monsters from Valmar's moon are now jumping down to the planet or something. I don't know how that works.
Oops.
I
think
feel
they
like, does this
rode
game
the
think
ship.
these things are like really scary?
So, Vanessa, I thought that they rode the ship at first as well, but there's a million of them, so it doesn't make much sense.
Maybe they
Are
bred.
they turning other people into monsters? That's what I want
It
to
seems
know.
like
Yes.
it. Yeah, you saw them
That's
like
what I
turn
thought,
purple.
too.
The bodies turn and like get spheres around them, and then monsters came out. So yeah.
Nice. So there's some good body
Maybe they
horror in
turn
this
bodies
episode.
into monsters. Corpses.
And so they are attacking Siren Kingdom, which is...
Yeah, and then we see we fight some of them, and then we see the moon like engulf the cathedral in like a black goop.
So much
I guess
goop
it
in this
kills
game.
It's all over it.
So
It's
much
a lot
goop.
of goop. Super goopy. And it sucked everyone up, and now Valmar has a new body, so Valmar's back.
Pretty sweet. Do we see that now? No? I can't wait to talk about Valmar's body. It's great.
Oh, you're so hot for Valmar.
Don't
I am
kink
so
shame
hot
or
for
don't
this
body
whole
shame
fucking
Valmar.
chunker.
Matt.
Matt loves being inside Valmar.
Oh, so Valmar's moon crashes into the cathedral. Got it.
I thought it like gooped it in.
yeah,
and sucked
it does
up.
goop it in, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it goops it in.
it's the moon. I thought it was just more goop, but it's the moon itself has like fallen onto the planet and gooped everything up.
Yeah, that's a goopy moon. And it was all squishy and fleshy on the inside.
So
you know,
we get to
for
see the
the
new
third
body
act-
of Valmar, and it is fucking rad, folks. Y'all know about Godzilla versus shit. What's it called? What's the three-headed
King Kong?
monster? That's
The
King
Hydra?
Ghidorah?
Mothra?
Ghidorah. Thank you. Yeah, y'all know about Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Well, this is fucking that times a million because this has 5 heads, which I think is.
That's 3 times a million, right? 5?
Everyone.
His body is gloop, but then he has 5 different. I'm sorry. His body is gloop, and then he has 5 different heads, and they're all like dragon heads, but they're all different looking dragon heads. It's weird.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool looking.
It's fucking rad.
John.
In fact, I'm gonna Google it and put an image in so that we can talk about it more
Yeah,
while
you
Johnny
should.
asks his
I wanna see
question.
I want to see it.
Why is everyone suddenly giving up so hard? Like, okay, so there's aliens killing everybody, and the dark moon is coming, and there's Ghidorah, which is that's the turtle guy with all the heads. Ghidorah
Yeah.
He's a dragon.
is in the air, but I
turtle
feel
is
like everyone's
Gamera.
given up too easily. Like every single person you talk to
Well,
is
John,
like,
this is the
"Well, I'm gonna die
the
now."
This is the thing that their religion has been telling them is going to be the end of the world their entire lives. They're like, if you see this thing on the day of darkness, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do,
I mean,
obviously.
if something showed up in the sky that resembled the Antichrist, if a 7-headed dragon or whatever showed up in the sky with fucking a crown on its head, I would definitely be like, well, it's over. That's it.
Yeah.
The stupid church was right.
If I'm taking out the trash and the trash bag breaks, I'm like, oh, it's over. I give up. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
I would give up in a heartbeat.
The Antichrist comes in many forms.
Yeah.
Anyway, I dropped some pictures of King Ghidorah Valmar in the chat. It's fucking crazy looking. It's
Oh.
rad. I love it. It's got 7 heads. Some of them are insectoids. Some of them are dragony. Some of them kind of look like xenomorphs. It's got bat wings and like falcon wings. Massive
like, a
talons.
mouth
It seems
on
to have a
its,
mouth
like,
for a tummy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought when
This
you
thing
killed
is
this
fucking
thing,
wild.
the game would just like roll credits, and I was so mad, Matt. I don't care if this is out of order. I was so mad when you killed this thing and the game didn't roll credits.
You know, Johnny, I got a real fucking bone to pick with you, sir. Because
What did I do?
every time we play one of these games and there's a long ass epilogue, I hate it. And usually you're like, oh, I loved it. The epilogues are the best. I like walking around back to every town and talking to everybody again.
This one was the worst one, but no, there's like 8 more
This isn't
bosses.
that
Has that
long
happened before?
and it's
Has that happened
hilarious.
before? Has that happened before?
Yes.
Yeah.
When has that happened?
Every fucking game has an epilogue, Jim.
Final
Every
Fantasy.
This though,
game.
where you're walking around talking to people?
Sometimes. Sometimes
Sometimes
it's
you just
you
get,
don't
like-
have.
Every game.
Yeah, it's a cutscene.
Yeah, sometimes it's a cutscene that rolls over the credits, which I hate that shit.
Okay.
I was frustrated by this too, but by the time it was over, I was like, okay, and we'll talk about it when we get there because I have some thoughts about what happens in the epilogue. Anyway, what happens next, Jim? Valmar comes back to life and he's fucking rad.
And then everybody dies.
Everybody dies. Everybody's like, well,
Everybody just.
we're fucked.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna.
I don't blame them. Like, I agree.
Let's see. So, Valmar's back. We see. It starts sending more of its young. I guess these are Valmar's young. These like insectoid things that the people are being turned into.
Who cares? Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. So Rowan is like, hey, there's a place that.
Well,
where
we can't just be
all-
like,
we're all-
Rowan says this. We haven't even talked about reuniting with Rowan.
Yeah.
I mentioned it.
No.
I mean, it's not like it's a long scene. You walk up and help
Yeah.
him fight some monsters, and then he's like, hey, guys.
Then he's like, hey guys, I'm back in the party.
He's got
He
the
does-
worst looking hair you've ever seen in your life. As soon as Merrick died, I was like, Rowan's coming back. Even before they
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah.
fucking going to whatever his town is called, I was like, oh, God, we're getting Rowan back.
I did have a real fear of having to do any combat with only 3 characters, though. That would really suck at this point in the game.
Why? Tio's got Baboom on her. Nothing matters. The combat from this point forward in the game is completely irrelevant.
Matt, they're called breasts,
Baboom,
and it's
baboom,
very
baboom.
rude for you to call them babooms.
I like babooms as a slang for breasts. That's fun. Hey, baby, let me see them babooms.
I liked it until you said it like that.
There's a lot of titty talk on tonight's episode.
And
Never
yes,
walk by
last
my
week.
house in the middle of the afternoon. Then, because I'm just sitting on the sidewalk. Every woman that drives or walks by. Hey, baby.
Hey, my friend Johnny would say you have nice barra titties, construction worker.
Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
You're so close. I think that if you're going to heckle someone, you got to do it like 1920s style, because that's charming. You got to be like, say, fellas, get a load of the babooms on that battleship.
I just think that catcalling is so impersonal, so I'm trying to bring it back, but like make it a more of an interpersonal thing where like you're at my house, you know, or like you're in my front, you're walking by my home, so like you know who I am. Like I'm not just a random stranger. I'm your neighbor. Nice tits.
You should print out cards for every compliment you want to give someone. Like, you know, one that says nice tits, one that says my friend Johnny.
Nice idea.
Yeah. It's
That's the only one that Matt carries around. That's the one that says nice. He doesn't bother with any of the
nobody
other
else
ones.
gets compliments.
Then it's not a cat call, it's a compliment card.
yeah, exactly. You made her
So-
day.
All right, so Rowan is back, and
Rowan's back. He's back in the party. Hey
I
now,
hate how
hey
useless
now,
Rowan's skills
back.
are.
What? Golden Hammer will
He has
do a ton of damage for me.
Yeah,
He's a
has
good
that one
secondary
skill that,
magic user.
Yeah.
He takes away everyone's status ailments. That's not so bad.
He's got
Yeah,
an ice
Give him an
prison.
egg. Give him that gravity egg or something that you're probably not using anymore, and he can. Yeah, his ice stuff is pretty good. He was my ice boy, ice and lightning boy, and Tio was explosion girl.
So Rowan's like, hey, there's this cool place where all of my family gets buried. Let's go look there. And he's like, I heard rumors of this thing called the birthplace of the gods that's supposed to be there. I wonder if that's important now that there's a god. Now that there's a god in the sky.
Yeah, partially they want to get out of. Partially they want to get out of town because everybody knows that Ryoto's got that horn of Valmar, and that Valmar's going to be coming straight for him.
But is Valmar's horn even like necessary now?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh no, he can't have the horns because then he'll resurrect. But now he's already resurrected. John.
I know that this is like the third act, point of despair where everyone's like, there's nothing we can do. And I was just waiting for the wait, I know moment.
Yeah.
And there is a wait, I know moment right here where it's like, wait, I know. There's the mausoleum, which is called the Birthplace of the Gods. And it's right here. And he points across the road.
Yeah. There's another wait I know too, because you have to use his stupid medal to get inside of it.
Oh, that's
medal
right.
that he has at the beginning of the game.
It is a little silly. Like it feels a little pressed for time here. Like they've
A little tacked on.
I don't know why Valmar can't. Yeah, well, no, but it feels like it feels like there should be like maybe you need to travel again, to another city or to a mountain where there's a mausoleum that people know of that's called the Birthplace of the Gods or something. But instead, like John said, it's just like, oh, right across the street actually is this place called the Birthplace of the Gods.
I appreciated this. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
Don't
for
be
brevity's
going
sake,
like a
I don't mind.
slog. We've slogged it all over.
That's only if you think this game is a slog, and I don't. I thought it was a goddamn delight
Slogged
all the way
to
through.
The moon.
So we go to the Birthplace of the Gods and we meet he's like a computer guy. And his name is Elmo.
Yeah, I mean, we go in.
It's a girl.
We go in.
Oh,
and
Elmo's
like,
a girl?
We can't. There's nowhere to go in here until there's like another mural on the wall, and Tio's like, "I see," and opens it with the metal.
She's like, we need to speak
But,
to
yeah.
Elmo. And then Elmo's like, oh, hi, Elmo here, and wow.
Oh,
We go
no.
underground to like another techno palace because that's a thing here. Which I guess.
I want to hear Vanessa's Elmo.
Yeah, do your Elmo.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Mr. Noodles! Mr. Noodles, what are you doing? Oh, that's silly. Oh, Mr. Noodles.
He's got more of a rasp.
Elmo wants to turn you
Go
into
smoke a cigarette and then.
Elmo wants to turn you into a monster.
Elmo is horrifying body horror.
Yeah, Elmo is a
Son of a bitch.
Elmo's a Tio that is growing out of the wall.
Yeah, I
Pretty
love it.
fucking awful.
I love it. So, is everything
Super
space?
condescending.
Yeah,
this
Elmo tells us the
everything's
whole
like
history
future
of,
technology? Like, is
Yeah.
all there? This is very Xenogearsy. Very.
She
very
says-
Say
Super
things.
Xenogears.
She says
Elmo
that-
tells us the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, she tells us that Granas and Valmar were both human who gained like godlike powers, and initially only Granas was worshipped.
Yeah, but I think she
it's-
contradicts herself though, because she says that, but then she also says that like Granis came from the sky.
Yeah, no,
and
I
people
agree that it
worshipped Granis.
did not seem to make a ton of sense. You're right. She does say that Granas came from the sky. So maybe he was. Maybe, I was right all along. Granas was a fucking alien.
No, he's
I was
not.
right. He came
Granas
from
and-
the sky.
Wait, didn't they say Granis and Valmar were two like people who made themselves into gods?
Yeah, but they
thought-
also
Yeah,
said
they did
Granas
it
came
in
from the sky.
Well, maybe Granis like ascended and then descended. Came
I think
back?
Granis and Valmar were aliens that turned themselves
Mm-hmm.
into gods and came to this planet.
That's not
That's
what
the
Elmo
only
says.
thing that
that's,
makes
that's
sense.
headcanon, bro.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
only
then-
thing that makes sense. It's also headcanon that they ascended and then came back down. She says that Granis came from the sky.
Yeah, she says Granis came from the sky. She said that, but then she also
Maybe it's
says
a metaphor.
that Valmar is just like the collective rebellious nature of a bunch of people.
Yeah, I
which makes me
kinda
think
thought-
that it's not a guy.
I kind of thought we were going to get a twist here where, like, maybe Valmar was the good guy in this situation because it's kind of weird. It really heavily implies that, like, anything that you pray for to Granis will happen. And, like, the world becomes a paradise of amazing technology because people pray to Granis for all this crazy stuff. But
Yeah.
a lot of, but, like, you have to do it. And if you don't, like, you're a heretic, which,
Yeah.
so it's a weird, like, it kind of made me think of the old like Christian, like go to heaven, like Christian heaven thing of like, well, you're gonna go to heaven and like we're gonna sit around and sing praise to God all day. Like that's what you do in heaven. You sing You sing prayers to God. You sing praise to God. And but what if I don't want to do that? Well, you'll want to do it while you're there. Oh, so I'll be a slave. So I'm a slave is what you're saying. I'll go to heaven and be a slave who has to sing all day.
I also think, because with the other thing, they're like, oh, well, people lost their ambitions and it was really bad because they were all just happy. It's like, you know what? That sounds like capitalist propaganda to me. You can't just be content with what you have, even though all your needs are taken care of. No, you have to be working.
This is anti-UBI.
All the time.
This is just anti-UBI. They're saying like a universal basic income is bad because we need to be able to starve to death or else we won't try.
Yeah, it did also feel like some bootstraps propaganda was worked in there. This is a weird twist at the end of this game. And then the people that don't want to be slaves to Granas start worshiping Valmar in order to be strong enough to fight back. And I'm like, so Valmar's the good guy? But then that just gets completely pushed to the wayside because Valmar is a giant 700 dragon now or whatever.
What I'm saying is, I want to stay on that Wally ship because it looks comfy and you get nice chairs.
Destructive force.
Is Valmar good or bad?
Messaging here at the end. Yeah, I mean, bad, I guess, because he wants to. But here's the other thing: the Valmar that we face off against here isn't really Valmar; it's Pope Zira.
Yeah,
it's like Pope Zira's taken the power of Valmar and warped it for his own ends. But maybe Valmar itself maybe it's neutral, maybe it's good. I don't know, but it sounds like Granas was bad.
Maybe Pope Zira went on his own spirit journey like Ryudo did and just became a monster like they thought Ryudo would.
Yeah. Did we talk about last week how they confirmed that Granas was dead already? Granas is just dead.
Yeah.
Well, that's
he's
what
dead.
the Pope says.
Yeah.
He was a spaceman from the sky who also is dead.
Or he was a normal man who became a god.
But in these cutscenes, it's definitely just a bunch of spaceships fighting each other.
Yeah, because they can dream up spaceships.
Yeah, they are just spaceships, yeah. Yeah, that's what it seems like they're doing is they're making themselves into spaceships?
Making themselves into spaceships?
He was either a spaceship or a man
Transformers.
or a god. And he was either good or bad or neutral or neither.
But the important thing is you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So
they say that they're basically equal, I guess. Valmar and Granas.
I don't know.
Light and dark doesn't necessarily mean good or bad.
Yeah, that is definitely Elmo's whole thing is darkness doesn't mean bad.
Yeah.
That's part of the natural order. But we do learn that the Granas seals that were sealing in the pieces of Valmar that we kept finding broken open all over the continent throughout this game are actually not seals. They're explicitly a system to bond humans to pieces of Valmar so that Valmar can come back to life.
Mm-hmm. They're like Valmar possession chambers.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Absolutely fucking weird. Weird that it all happened now, Strange that it all seems to have happened at one time, if that's what these were.
Well, the Pope is instigating all of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all of it? What did the Pope have to do with Ryudo and his village?
He didn't have anything. Oh, well, that's a good point.
He might have, though. We don't know. Who knows how long
that's fair.
Been doing his machinations.
Maybe Melphis started it.
Well,
but Melphis didn't even start it. It was
Melphis' girlfriend.
Maybe Rena did. Maybe Rena started it.
Maybe Rena's the Pope.
Who knows?
Maybe Rena's the Pope.
So they say, these pieces, when you bond with them, it will either overtake you. And I guess this is what leads me to believe that maybe Valmar actually does suck because Valmar is trying to make it so they fail so Elmo he can take over their body.
Says that the pieces aren't inherently evil. But
who's trying to trick Ryudo then?
But it pushes them towards
even a thing. I think Valmar is just a destructive impulse, and it's not a sentient.
But it also was a guy.
Individual. It also was a guy, but I
was
don't
it
think
ever
it's
a guy?
Anymore.
Yeah, she says that,
Name
that Valmar and Granas were like two scientists or something that developed.
She definitely
a
does not
thing.
say they're two scientists.
Obviously that's what
You're
she said.
thinking
She
of
said,
the Fleshmancer and his buddy. That was the last game. 2 games ago. 3 games ago.
That was
I
like
don't
3
know.
games ago. Wasn't it? No, I don't know.
In fact, maybe
I
it
did. I
is. Maybe
googled
it's
it, and
same guys.
the Grandia 2 wiki says that Elmo describes the birthplace of the gods as a research facility in which both Valmar and Granas ascended to godhood, and that implies that they may have once been humans.
They might have, or they might have been concepts that became gods.
Aren't all concepts gods when you think about it?
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Sit on that.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, thank
Maybe
you.
they're AIs. They're probably AIs that
They're
were
probably
developed in this
AIs.
lab.
Yeah.
It's a lot
I
of
guess
AI and
we should probably just like kind of agree to disagree, I guess. Not really that so much as we should just kind of agree that this is nonsense and doesn't necessarily make
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of sense.
No,
and
this
we're
is
not going to
just
solve this
JRPG
puzzle.
nonsense.
You know? Yeah, it's
But I
word
like-
salad
It
is
doesn't
what
really
it
I
make
is.
any
do
sense.
like trying to solve it. I find it
Yeah.
pretty fun, but I know we have to
It's
move
fun, but
on.
we can't do this all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
We gotta move on to Ryudo's makeover.
Yeah, so Ryudo's like, I want to use the power of the horns of Valmar to defeat Valmar.
Wait, Matt. Elmo describes. This is according to the wiki. Elmo describes the birthplace of the gods as a research facility.
I literally just said that word for
That's
fucking
Yeah.
word.
word
that.
for word. He just
Wow.
said that.
So you were saying I'm right.
He's like, gotcha, with the same thing you
Gotcha.
just read.
Gotcha.
John, a blue collar guy, can do research too. How do you think they learn about vaccines?
Oh no,
It's
no.
true.
Actually, I've got it. This says that this birthplace of the gods was a research facility.
Oh shit!
Where
Really?
Valmar and Granas ascended.
I guess I'm right.
Oh, okay. Yes,
implying
no.
that maybe they were people.
I'm sorry, Vanessa. You're right. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
This says, this other wiki says that the birthplace of the gods was a research facility in which Granas and Valmar were researching what a baritiddy is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Sorry,
so they
Matt.
say that the birthplace of the gods was a research center where they.
It's all staying in.
So
Keep it
Ryudo is
in.
going to. He wants to use the power of the horns, but he's worried he'll turn into Valmar. And then Tio in the wall is like, "Oh, maybe you won't turn into Valmar. Maybe if you keep your heart, you'll be something else." And he
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
know
like,
what
don't
that
give in to your
is.
anger. Don't,
Yeah.
It's dark side stuff. Don't.
Yeah, don't give in to the dark side.
And then you'll just have like a glow up, and you'll be somehow different. But they don't really.
Well,
know
and
what
apparently
kind
you'll
of
also
body
get
he'll have.
Apparently you also get a sweet fucking sword, which is never explained in any way, shape,
Right.
or form.
It's
That's the Granas saber,
sword.
dude.
The
But
Granas saber
the
was a
Granas saber's
fucking
our
spaceship. We've already
That's
covered
the
that.
That's the real Granas saber.
How did he get it, Jim? How did he get it?
That's the horns of Valmar, the new Granas saber.
So the horns came out of him and became a sword.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Shit. No, the game definitely does not make. That's not text in the game.
Did this happen
He
at a
just-
research facility?
It's
can-
magic. It's magic. You need a scientific. Do you want to see where the sword was forged? You need a certificate of authenticity.
I mean, I would like some sort of explanation as to why he has a magic sword all of a sudden. Yes. Anyway, Elmo tells him that he can like totally harness the power of the horns. So he has to go into, I don't know, he gets on a platform that raises him up, but then he seems to be underground. But before he does that, what happens?
He gets a long hug from Elena.
They kiss.
They kiss. They definitely kiss.
They
It's very
do-
awkward.
they
with
do
their
kiss, and it
mouthless
spins
space
around them.
models.
It's like that video for Astounding by Brandvan 3000, which is just 3 minutes of a couple kissing while the camera pans around. That's exactly. I guess Brandvan ripped off Grandia too. because that came out after this. They're like, have you seen that kissing scene in Grandia 2? They're at a research facility where two scientists have become Granas and Valmar, and then they kiss.
Yeah, they're in the birthplace of the gods, I think.
Oh, the research facility where two scientists became Granas and
So, yep, Elena jumps onto the platform with Ryudo as it raises into the air and gives him a big old smooch. And it's like, don't, you can do it, Ryudo, I believe in you.
I believe in your glow up. You're gonna look so good.
And that's before he turns into a bug,
It's a makeover
right? So he hasn't turned into a bug
Yeah,
yet?
You're gonna be what you
No,
should.
we have to go. Ryudo has to go on like a journey
Is this
inside of his
Oh,
own
yeah.
soul.
You go down like a rocky path surrounded by lava, and at each stop, at each landing of the whatever, you talk to Valmar, who's like, "You really want power, right?" And you have to be like, "No," and then the path explodes behind you for some reason.
Is this part of the research facility?
Yes.
Okay.
This is.
Why-
I know that I love the joke. This is inside Ryudo's soul. That is where Elena tells us we're going. Not Elena. That's where Elmo tells us we're going.
Tia, Elmo.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like Valmar negs Ryudo so bad that he gives up and turns into a bug man.
Yeah, he turns
Yes,
into one of
it's
them
very-
bug monsters.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Kafka right here in our Japanese video game.
And this is how
Yeah, this
Ryudo
is-
is going to be for the rest of the game. He is going to be a bug monster. We are going to have to fight Valmar as a bug man.
I do think it was
wish.
good writing that they made Ryudo fail initially until he hears Elena. Spoiler. I think that's
Spoiler.
it's a good
We're talking about it
narrative
right now.
Spoiler for right now, she starts singing and he hears her beautiful song and he's like, maybe I don't have to be a bug after all.
We get a great
Well, there's a
cutscene.
section. There's a section where you see Ryudo turn into a bug, and then it cut to
Yes, it cuts-
Elena and Tio and Rowan, and they're running around outside of the mausoleum area,
Yeah.
talking to all these villager people.
Yeah, and Elena sings a song.
And then they're like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And then Elena's just like, "I'm a songstress of Granis. This is all that I know how to do." And then she sings a song.
Even though you've learned that Granis is both dead and kind evil. Granis is evil.
Granis isn't evil, Granis isn't good. Granis
is
just
fascism.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I guess that's kind of the deal.
But Elena decides, we get a little cutscene of Valmar, like, I don't know, gooping up the world, and the goop is heading towards the mausoleum, and everybody's fleeing towards it. And yeah, Elena is outside the mausoleum, and she sings a song, and guess what? Ryudo hears it deep inside of his own soul, and he breaks out of his bug form, and has a sword
Zaps
now.
himself to the,
If
yeah,
the
zaps
sword
himself.
is the Horns of Valmar, why isn't it called the Horns of Valmar? Why is it called the Granas Saber? Point and match, sir. Got
That's
it.
a good question. The
Because
Granas Saber sounds cooler.
I think it's about
Does it?
intention, you know? Like,
Disagree.
I think it does.
to be a Valmar is to be super, like, destructive and want to just smash everything. And to be a Granis is to want to build things and preserve things. And he wants to build and preserve things now, so now he has a Granis Saber.
Was it a Granas Saber and not a Granas Sword?
Because it's curved.
It's
It
not
begun
curved.
with an S. It's
It's
not
In
curved.
fact,
at the
It looks
tip.
like He-Man's sword. It's got spikes on each side.
Yeah, it's like 3 triangles stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
It really doesn't look like any sort of sword.
It does.
Saber.
It's like He-Man's
Starts
sword.
with an S.
Anyway. So
Ryudo's back, and he's got the hottest fucking sword on Earth and the power to defeat Valmar, which we're going to do by How, guys? How do we defeat Valmar?
Well, I'm just glad he was okay with briefly transforming into a bug, and I like the idea that Elena would be like, "Come back to me, no matter what you look like." And I wish the game had the courage to make the last cutscenes like her cuddling with her big bug boyfriend.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does kind of, I guess, like he doesn't use the power of Granas, even though he has the Granas saber, or Valmar. He like learns to believe in the power of humans or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, he becomes a humanist.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, and because he hears the song that Elena is singing with the rest of humanity.
Yeah. So he comes out and he's like, "Come back, everybody!" And then he does a big Hadouken attack where he does a Kamehameha with his new sword that came out of fucking nowhere, and it hurts. It kills one of Valmar's heads, one of its dragon heads, and then he uses the sword to teleport us inside Valmar. That's right, inside the body of Valmar, Part 2. My favorite dungeon in the game, revisited.
Yay!
I was pretty happy about this. Get to
You
run
do
around
go
his
inside
fucking
like
arteries and
his
stuff again.
nervous system.
Yeah,
which is pretty
it's
wild.
crazy. I love this shit.
Where do you have to go? You have to make your way to. Oh, this is where you find the final egg too, right?
Final egg.
Is that right? No, you
I
didn't
never
find this egg.
I
did
didn't
you,
find
John?
that egg. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's somewhere in.
Yeah, there's one more egg.
New Valmar.
I don't remember using it very much, but I could be confusing it with another one.
Well, you don't have very much time to like level it up.
Yeah, but if you did the optional dungeon, there's an item that you get that gives you a shitload of magic coins, and you can use a lot of those to level up this last egg.
Oh, I think I had that. I definitely had. I had way more SC and MC than I needed.
There's an item that you get that refunds all of Merrig's SC. It doesn't refund his. Oh no, the MC just stays with the egg, so it wouldn't refund it.
Yeah. That
makes sense. Got it. So we make our way through this thing. Is this the dungeon? I think I might have mentioned this last time. Is this a dungeon where there's like different buttons you can press to open different doors, like little side rooms in these chambers?
Yeah, you had to find the 3 color thingies and then shoot impulses to open up secret doors.
You're thinking of the body of Valmar, but yeah, you do have to shoot. You have to find the 3 things, and then there's an elevator to each floor, and there's like a secret 4th floor. I don't know. Real quick, you do not find anything that gives you extra MC in that secret dungeon.
Yeah, you do.
No.
There's one item that gives you 1,000 MC. I think it is.
Okay,
it's either 1,000 or 10,000.
Nothing.
It's not a game changer.
I did not man. So the dragon egg is the final egg of the game, and it has all of the highest versions of all of the spells, all of the offensive spells. But I did, because a lot of the enemies in this final dungeon don't give you more than like 15 fucking MC.
Yeah.
I could not max this thing out, which was kind of a bummer. Like, what do I care? But anyway. Yeah, this is the one where it's got 3 lights that you have to light up on each floor, and then, but in order to progress, you have to turn off one of the lights. I had to Google it, like I wasn't sure. I just didn't fucking feel like doing it. But once I lit them all up and nothing happened, I was like, and I read something that was like, now like mix them up, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm not doing this. And you have to go back down to the 3rd floor and turn off the yellow light.
So much happening in this dungeon. But we make it to the core, and then that's where we find Zira. How is Zira Valmar, but also... No?
We make it to the core, and that's where we find a boss rush.
Yeah. No,
I thought it was Zira fight,
yeah,
and then
Zira
boss rush.
then Zira again, but as a moth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's not Zira that you fight the first time, is it?
The first time it's Valmar, right?
No, it's Millennia.
Oh, you're right. No, Millennia after.
No, but even before
boss
that,
first,
we
then
fight
Millennia.
Zira, boss rush.
No, it's
Zira,
Zira Millennia Boss Rush.
Boss
Because I thought I
Rush,
finished the
Zira
game
Yeah,
after
then
Zira,
Zira.
or no, sorry, Valmar Millennia Boss Rush, then Zira.
Valmar, you fight Valmar first, and then Millennia.
Yeah.
It is Zira.
Yeah, we fight Zira,
also not
his
actually
Valmar
Millennia.
Zero form.
Nobody knows.
And then he summons. And then he summons what he says is Millennia, which we have to fight and defeat, and she's not hard. And
Yeah, she's
then,
like, give me the horn, Ryudo, give it to me. And then Elena's like, Ryudo, that's not Millennia, because she loves you and us, and she wouldn't want the horn. And also, listen, she doesn't even sound like Millennia, which was irritating because this wasn't a voice acted portion. And I'm like, I really wanted to, like, see what she sounded like if she's not sounding like Millennia. But maybe she meant that she's not speaking the way she would.
yeah, that's what I took it as. But once
I
we
took it as like she's like, Ryudo, it's me, Millennia.
once we defeat Millennia, fake Millennia, Elena's like, Millennia's not even really dead. I'm Millennia, and then Millennia pops out of her. Guess who's back, baby?
It's Millennia, and now they're separated, but in a
We get
nice
to play
way,
as both of them.
Yeah,
You have to
now
play as both of
Ryudo
them
has.
because it kicks Tio and Roan out of the fucking party.
Yeah, they have to go back to their home planet,
Yeah.
which they kind of do.
Yeah, they get
They
their
say
own
they're
little
gonna,
ending.
like, stay behind and fight the bug things while we go get the
Well, they
bug.
get separated too, right? Doesn't the ground drop
Oh,
out
yeah,
around us?
Yeah, the ground drops out.
Oh, that's right.
So Millennia's part of the party. I hate that this game is like, by the way, end of the game, 3-man party. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It was your big nightmare.
But like
you just said.
should have
It was Jim's big nightmare.
Oh,
you should have all of the
Research
all
facility.
of Millennia's Valmar abilities now, and those are all pretty dang good.
Yeah, and I had enough SC that I maxed out everything she had. I had so much SC that I never used because there just wasn't enough to use it on.
were you like me and like look through the list to see which was the highest SP value to see which one will do most damage? Because that's generally what I use.
Yeah.
And at least I could defeat most of these in the boss rush, most of the bosses in like 2 turns of everyone going. Because I put all the super speedy stuff on Millennia, and her thing was doing like 4,500, and Ryudo's was doing 6,000. And yeah, I took out everything in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I would have Elena just kind of like sit there and defend because
She could do her nightmare ball. That puts everything to sleep for a minute. That's
yeah,
useful.
oh, that's right. I was using White Apocalypse a lot, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
were, you
that
racist.
one's really good.
I'm uncomfortable with that name. And thanks for the suggestion to buy at Serum all those like baobab fruits and magic
Oh, the
medicine,
Baobabs, yeah.
so that I could like basically between each fight. And at first I didn't put anything on Millennia because I forgot to, but then by the second one I remembered to put like all the skills on her. And
yeah,
then
you got to
use the
redo all of her
seeds.
skills and shit.
Yeah.
I knew she was coming back when earlier in the dungeon I found no. I knew she was coming back when fake Millennia dropped a crossbow as an item. I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of assumed she was coming back when we got a thing for Merrick that gave us back all of the SC, but not for her.
Well, also her last words were like, Elena, I am you. So then when Elena's like, wait, I understand. She is me. It's like, it's not that big a revelation. She told you to your face.
Speaking of, the voice acting in this game is fucking garbo. And Ryudo just sounds like dollar store Matthew Broderick to me. I can't, that's all I can hear. And Elena is atrocious.
The man who voiced Ryudo is a storied voice actor. He
Matthew
has many
Moderick.
credits to his name.
I don't care. It was garbage. It
Voiced
was shit.
Simba in The Lion King.
You know, it's terrible, but it's still 100 times better than the first Grandia. That is the low.
The
That
first
is
Grandia
the
is your
worst
favorite
voice
game.
acting.
What are you talking about?
It's one of my favorites, but the voice acting is awful. It's terrible. So what happens next? We go to space?
Well, so we have to do this boss rush, but I wanted to say two things. One is that it turns out, and thank God, it's a mini boss rush, and you only have to fight 3 parts of Valmar, because I thought it was going to be like all 7, and I was not.
Oh, me too.
Happy about that. But Johnny mentioned that he was refilling using all the restorative items. There is a save point at the start of this.
You can just run back.
And you can just run back after each fight, and it costs you nothing but like a minute of time to just refresh at the save point and then come back and be at full. I didn't even need to do it. I had so many fucking items, but I was just like, I'm a weirdo, man. Like, I got to hoard those items.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not get a free full heal if you can?
I mean, during the optional dungeon, which I guess we didn't even talk about it. But during the optional dungeon, there was a save point by a bridge that I was just like hovering around the whole time. Kill something, go to the save. Kill something, go to the save.
Yeah, maybe we should have a little aside about that optional dungeon really quick.
Yeah, it was. You go back to Raoul Fields. There's 2 sections to it. Raoul Hills. There's 2 sections to it. The first section has more powerful monsters, but not like one-shot you monsters. But listeners may remember early on when we first passed through it, there's a little cool rundown fort. And that section of the field is there and accessible. You can't get past it to let you out the other side, which makes sense. But inside is a special enemy type, these like flying, floating demons. And they are super powerful.
They got the baboom.
John?
I never got one-shotted by these, but I think I got way more lost in this game than anyone else did, so I was way over-leveled.
I got so lost in Raoul Hills 2, where you start, that I redid that section probably 6 fucking times. I kept popping out on the little beach section of Raoul Hills 1, where you can't go anywhere, and you find those useless weapons that I assumed would become the most powerful weapons in the game, but no, they are just things that sit in your inventory for the rest of the game. Why was this here? So I could not figure this out, but finally I made it to that little fort. I will say this, there's a lot of walls and the enemies have very strict paths, and it was very easy to just wait behind a wall until the monster turned around and you could get them in the back and get initiative, and then you could basically one-shot them as soon as the fight started. So I didn't have any problems with this. And you find the
you
fairy
do not want to
egg.
let them get any turns, because even one turn they will cast Baboom and they will kill your entire party. They're very scary. It was kind of disappointing, like the fact that they were so difficult, but also that the loot that they drop is like nothing.
Yeah.
They give you like no experience and no SC and no MC. It's really frustrating.
You do
get some great items.
Yeah, you
here.
get some great items. You get the fairy egg. You get something that gives you a bunch of MC. You get...
Fairy egg sucks.
I mean, it's good for Elena at the end of the game because it has both resurrect
healies.
and the best heals. And the best, like, anti-remove status debuff things. But I never really needed it.
I don't think I ever actually... I leveled it up to maximum, and I don't think I ever used it.
Yeah, that's not necessary. It also gives you something that doubles your experience and doubles the SC you collect, which is just absurd in the end of this game when it's already so easy. That, like I said, I managed to straight up obliterate this boss rush without taking more than a couple of hits. Like, in fact, at least one of them, maybe the Heart of Valmar, I did not take a single hit before I killed the thing. It was ridiculous.
Fun times. Boss rush.
Well, you get that cool... One of the abilities that you can get in the late game from one of the books is an ability that makes magic into like a cancel attack. And if you put that on your main magic user, who typically you're also putting speed buffs on so that they'll go quickly, they'll basically reset everybody as soon as they hit them. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, I didn't do that.
They never get a turn off,
No,
basically.
I wish I would have.
Anyway, so we do this boss rush, and then it's time for the final boss, gang, and it's stupid.
Mothra.
It's a
Mothra.
moth.
It's not Mothra because Mothra's huge, and this is just a man-sized moth. Mothman. This is Arthur
it's a
from The
Mothman.
Tick.
It's Pink moth.
The way that the head comes out to talk to you while
Yeah,
attacking
so good.
is one of my favorite. That has to be the art for this episode because his eyes are looking in two different directions, and it is so goofy. This is the silliest boss design, like final boss design of any game we've ever played. That I give this game props for. What a great final boss
I
design.
wonder if I can find it.
I mean,
He's
I did.
also
I took.
standing on a plate
I took a
of
bunch of
spaghetti.
screenshots.
He's
Oh,
standing
here
on
it
a
is.
delicious plate of spaghetti, and he is about to have his spaghetti
there it is.
dinner when these people come and bother him, and he has to fight them.
Not this one. This one's like a yin and yang kind of thing. The spaghetti was that first Valmar boss. The first
okay.
body one that the one that looks like Mothra or Ghidorah or whichever.
Yeah, and when you fight the moth, you're fighting in like it looks like a Kingdom Hearts arena. Kind of.
It gets very Kingdom Hearts, actually. They're like, oh, we believe in the light of people and in love and friendship.
Yeah, and like the human will is magic.
And the only reason that you became a bad Valmar is because of yourself, not anyone else. And
Yeah, they really tear this guy down.
yeah, you're like, if you saw darkness in people, it was just your own stupid darkness reflected in your stupid reflection.
So Zira, you defeat Zira, and he's like, "Oh, how could a human defeat me?" And Ryudo's like, "You're a human, you dingus."
Yeah, idiot.
And Zira
This-
says he's afraid of dying.
The fact that he is a moth monster inside of a giant dragon legitimately gave me real strong Final Fantasy X vibes. You know? Yevon
yeah.
at the end of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, it's
The
true.
bug that lives in
Right.
sin.
When did Final Fantasy X come out?
It must have been after this.
It's been 2000.
So things get weird here. We get cut away to Tio and Roan, and Roan's like, well, we did it. Time to die.
Yeah, Roan's just like, oh, I'm glad they were successful, because now I can die without regrets. And Tio's like, no, I'm going to save you. And they start, like, flying through the air, and it has the weirdest line in it. Roan's like, oh my god, Tio, did you save me? And she's like, yes. And he goes, I'm so sorry, that must have hurt so much.
Yeah, I thought that meant
I
that
know,
she
I
was
didn't-
going to die. I'm so confused.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and then
so
she's
weird.
like, it
Yeah.
didn't hurt at all. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
she's
weird.
like, it doesn't hurt.
She can just
And
fly
then-
now. She just
Yeah,
flies.
She's sort of flying
Why would
in
he
an
assume
energy
that-
bubble.
Why would he assume that it hurt
I
her?
don't know. It makes
No,
no
it
sense.
makes no
And
sense.
then, like, she's holding on to him and hugging him, and he's like, "This is nice. I think someone held me like this a long time ago."
Yeah, I was like, "What is?" I took some screen caps of this scene. There's some weird vibes
And
happening.
then she starts crying, and she's like, "I've never felt like this before. I thought you were only supposed to cry when you were sad." And I'm like, "Are they falling in love? Is he reminded of his
Yeah.
mother? Why
He's
does
gonna
he think
go-
this hurts her?" Like,
He is going to go home and take his real doll queen back to his kingdom.
It's like the Terminator 2. I know now why you cry.
yeah, it's
But I can
very
never do.
weird. But it's my favorite line in the game when he's like, "I'm sorry. That must have hurt. That must have hurt so much." She goes, "It doesn't hurt at all."
It's so fucking weird. And then we get a great cutscene of Millennia, Elena, and Ryudo hanging out, just kind of hanging out in space.
They're like walking on space.
Philosophizing in space about gods and...
This is very Xenogears-y cutscene.
Ryudo's
then
like, we don't,
Millennia?
humans don't need gods anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
We defeated God, the concept of God, really.
They worry that there's going to be a power vacuum and some other people are going to try to like become gods again.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh well, what can we do about that? Millennia sprouts her wings. And then she looks at Elena and she's like, come on, do it. And Elena's like, I don't know how. And then she takes a beat and she goes, wait, I see how. And she sprouts out like feathery wings.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that like Elena and Millennia were going to be the new Valmar and Granas. They even
Oh, that
talk
would have been a
about-
better ending.
They talk about how like, oh, I guess we'll never quite see eye to eye on things, but they're not enemies. So I'm like, okay, so we'll
Yeah.
have like these two new gods and they aren't going to be enemies and they're really the same person. They're just different aspects of parts of humanity.
But
That doesn't seem
instead,
to be what happens.
no, they fly away. And what I thought was the most interesting thing here is that the three of them fly away, Millennia and Elena, under the power of their wings. And also Ryudo is flying under his own power of what does appear to be farts. He does seem to be flying around just with the power of gas coming out of the backside of him, which
Oh,
is
man.
really strange and doesn't
Ryudo, dude.
make a lot of sense.
Ryudo, dude. Two chicks at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, that'll make anyone fart.
Hey.
And so you think that's it? We did it? Game over? No.
But yes,
epilogue
but also
time.
No. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
a long one, or as Vanessa likes to call it, an epilogue.
Yeah, it is an epilogue.
That's what you called it. That's what you called it.
I know. I was attributing my great joke to Vanessa. I thought that would be. a
I
nice thing to do.
appreciated it. And
You
I
know
needed
Vanessa
that
could never
booster
come up
this
with a
week,
joke
and
that good.
You know what? Your mom couldn't come up with a joke that good.
These nuts couldn't come up with a joke that good. So, a year later, we
No, they did. You have children.
get to.
Aw.
So now we get to play as Rowan.
Chapel Rowan. It's been a year. Chapel Rowan's haircut has occurred.
Yeah.
He got rid of the
back
bob.
in his like old little outfit.
His little boy outfit.
His little like scouting outfit.
His little runaway
And
boy
his-
outfit.
Yeah. He's running away again.
There should have been combat here, and Rowan just has like the most like one shot coolest moves in the game right here that you could have been able to
I would have
get
hated that,
combat.
to be honest with you. Like, it's a fun idea, but then I would have had to do more, and I wanted it to be over.
Did you talk to every single
Rowan-
person in all these towns?
Fuck no. I talked to a few. Rowan has decided to travel the world again to see how everything's changed. But before he does, he meets Tio outside in the town. And Tio is now working as a nurse.
Yeah,
And they
she
have,
comes
like-
out in her little nurse's outfit.
She's-
and I
she's
was
wearing, like,
is
a
she
hot little-
dressed like a little nurse, and yes, she
Yeah,
is.
she's wearing like a hot nurse outfit. Like a hot nurse Halloween
Yeah.
costume.
She doesn't seem to be in a romantic relationship with Rowan by the way
No.
they interact.
No, not at all. She seems to just be a nurse in town now. Because you have to get a job, robot. That's what this game teaches us. Robots have to have jobs.
Well, but I mean, she's helping people. There's nothing wrong with using your spare time to do good in the world.
They
She's
have a
out talking to
conversation.
Rowan, and her boss is like, "Get the fuck back inside
Yeah,
and get
it's
back
wild.
to work." nurse."
That happens twice, actually.
No, that happens to Elena too.
They have a conversation about Merrig and whether or not she's happy, and she's like, he's telling her, I'm leaving. I want to go check stuff out. And she says, I don't remember how the conversation goes, but he's like, are you happy? And she says, yes. And please tell Merrig I'm the happiest I've ever been. I've never, whatever. Whatever he said to her before he died of like, live your life and be happy. Have a heart. And then Rowan goes to Liligue City. And you walk up to the church there, and we find a bunch of kids running around. And who comes out of the church but Millennia? That's right.
Millennia.
You want to talk about a fucking glow up?
This teacher's outfit so I had a teacher in grade 6. She was like a young lady who had just come out of like university, and she was teaching grade 6. And I just remember like the most vivid memory, and anyone who was in my class will tell you this is true. She didn't wear a bra. And she
was trying to find a husband, is what you're saying.
One time she was just like talking to the class but leaning forward, and it popped out.
Oh my god.
It popped out.
No.
It was out, Jerry. I just sent a pic of Millennia's school teacher outfit to the group, and I do want to talk about it. She is still wearing the lowest cut top imaginable. She now has thigh-high,
Wait, Matt,
heel,
did
white
you draw this?
leather boots.
She has, in this drawing, she has bayonetta legs. Like, they are
Yeah.
2/3 of her body.
She also doesn't have any knees.
Well, she's
This
got
drawing
boots
also
on.
like breaks down her undergarments as well.
Oh, yeah.
And
It does. It's like her like little bloomers, the diagram for how her bloomers work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this game decided that they needed to take pretty much the only hot female character in the game and hot her up even more at the end, but I really appreciate it. Step on me, mommy, with the foot of Valmar, please.
They're doing
Now-
the greatest hits. They had sexy nurse, and now they have sexy teacher.
I mean, I understand, Matt. This is
you want that heel on your nuts.
this is hypocritical of me
Pop
to
it.
say, but
Pop
this
it.
this lady you're lusting after does look like a Lego minifig in the main game.
She's got like a high tight ponytail going on with her bright red hair, those weird horns that she had that I was never sure if were horns or like a headdress. I don't know.
Oh, were they horns?
No, I guess not, because that she doesn't have them now. And long story short, holy shit, Millennia, like. And then it kind of implies for like a minute that like maybe she's like, what are you, lonely little boy? And I was like, yeah, Rowan, get it. Why are you being a school teacher here? Come be my queen, baby. Anyway, she's a teacher now, and her students all love her. And she talks. This is where things get dicey, my friends. He's like, aren't you lonely? And she says, Ryudo, we skipped this. Ryudo's missing. Nobody has seen Ryudo.
Yeah, nobody's seen Ryudo.
And he's like, aren't you lonely? And she's like, no, because Ryudo and I share like a deep connection. And I know that he loves me, and I know that he'll come back to me someday. And Rowan's like, aren't you like worried that he might be with somebody else? And she's like, nah, we have an agreement.
Yeah, they do.
Well, technically, Elena and Millennia are the same person.
I mean, that's cute
That's what I
from a
was gonna
philosophical perspective, but they are two different people in two different bodies who live in two different parts of the world.
It's like
Maybe Ryudo, when he was leaving, he had separate conversations with both of them where he's like, babe, when I come back, I'm totally going to be with you.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
No.
Don't even worry about it, babe.
Because she flat out is like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, we had this straight up. She's like, we have an arrangement.
We have a contract.
I'm not going to continue to call on you. Use your voice.
it does remind me a bit of the Austin Powers series, where I think the first two movies end with either a character in bed with a future version of themselves saying, technically, this isn't cheating.
I don't think that's Austin Powers.
Maybe the
Yeah, I
third one
don't
when they
remember that at
travel
all.
in time.
Oh, I guess it's the first or the second two then, because it happens with Rob Lowe and whoever plays number 2, the other guy, and it happens with Austin Powers and himself in the past.
I think the Rob Lowe one is the third one.
Yeah, the
right?
third one's the one with the time travel and Beyonce, where Rob Lowe plays the guy from the first movies.
I'm sure there's one point where Austin Powers has sex with himself, and then they say technically this isn't cheating, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I'm sure you're right because those movies are gross. The first one is still pretty funny, actually.
I love
the
the
second
first
one. He drinks diarrhea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the second
I'm
one is
hard
garbage.
pass on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one.
Trash.
No, the third
second
one's
one's
not
the,
even
like,
garbage.
fat
It's
suit
it's like
one.
nothing. The second,
Yeah.
Fat Bastard is in both 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't like that character.
Nobody liked that. Anyway, so Roan leaves, and then he goes to Merrick's grave, and he talks about how much what's-her-face Tio is happy, and it's great, and everything's great. And then he goes to the town with the little blind girl, and guess what? She's back.
She's kind of a little shit too.
Guess who's back?
Yeah.
Back
She's
again.
a little shit. And then
Three-eyed
her
girl.
mom sees
Tell your
Rowan
friends. Point
and is
and
like,
laugh.
"Oh,
Point and laugh.
you were here a long time ago." Which
Yeah,
makes me
no.
think, like,
The
she
mom
either
doesn't
isn't
fucking
happy-
remember him, which is weird.
Yeah. Like, remember when we murdered your daughter who had
Yeah.
a third eye on her forehead?
But Arya remembers him, and then she mentions that Elena is in town. As we had come into town, we passed by a carnival, and they were like, "We're not open yet." And then we go and talk to Arya and her mom, and Arya's like, "Oh, Elena's here. She's part of that. She's the singer for that traveling show." And we go, and we talk to Elena, who also has had a glow up, but I feel like that's less important to mention than the fact
More of a
that
glow
she
across.
is now a carny.
Yeah.
She's a carny. She's the freak in the freak show. So every night she bites the head off of a live chicken in exchange for a pint of grain alcohol.
Is that what
Have
happened?
you guys never seen Nightmare Alley?
No.
Yeah. I didn't.
All right, never
like it.
mind. Oh, you didn't like it?
Nah, I didn't like it. It seems exactly like the kind of thing I should like because I like a spooky carnival and I like a
Did you like
noir
that
and things
Carnival
like that.
show? I thought that was trash.
I didn't watch that.
I thought it was pretty boring until like the end.
I didn't finish it. I
Nightmare
watched one
Alley or
episode.
Carnival the series.
No, Carnival. I thought Nightmare Alley got better as it went.
I didn't care for it.
As soon as What's Her Face came into the movie, it was way better.
Yeah,
What's that
I agree
lady's
with
name?
that. Kate,
Do you guys want to see some early
Blanchett.
concept art for
Kate
Millennia?
Blanchett, yeah.
Yeah, always.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to see her whole boobs.
Wow.
So in the early concept art, she's blonde, she's got black wings coming out of her head, and she's wearing, frankly, something that I would expect Emma Frost to wear. Her
No, she's
boobs are
wearing the,
just all the way out, but
Borat swimsuit.
yeah, the Borat swimsuit with high heel boots and red leather gloves. And she is just full blown tits out, but she's got spikes coming out of her areolas, which is weird.
This looks like a character from Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Remember the movie Heavy Metal?
I do like that the super horny version we got, the one that was actually in the game, was like the respectable toned down version of Millennia. It's like, we should probably dial this back a bit. And she's still super horny.
Yeah.
But
Her
yeah.
personality I've made a lot of jokes about like how hot she is. I've said this before. I don't really find cartoon characters attractive, but
Well, I think you can think that they represent something you. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I'm not here looking
Yeah,
at
sure.
Marek beating it.
so you say. But
Wait, would that
Sounds
be
like-
you
that
are
sounds
beating
like
it while
something-
you look at him, or he's beating it while you look at him?
I'll let you decide that for yourself.
John, that
Oh,
sounds
choose
like
the second.
something someone who beats it to Merrick would say.
Sure.
I mean, Millennia just has that bad girl attitude that I find wildly attractive.
What does this look like in real life, Matt? If someone in real life were to have this devil may care attitude, I feel like Millennia in real life would be really fucking annoying to be around.
She would have done a January 6th.
Anyway, Elena is also like, Rowan's like, hey, do you know where Ryudo is? And she basically says the same thing as Millennia. She's like, we have an arrangement. Mm-hmm. But my favorite thing about this is that Elena
says that. Sorry. Maybe you're about to say the same thing.
No, go ahead.
She says that, you said the same thing to Millennia, huh? And he's like, how do you know? And she said, well, we're connected. Yeah.
They have a psychic bond.
Which...
it gets real Wheel of Time here at the end. Oh, he's got 3 girlfriends and they all have a psychic bond. So they all get off when he bangs one of them. So...
Ugh.
Is that what is that what happens to Tomax and Xamot in like
I bet.
Joe? Do you think if
bet.
one of them is doing it, the other one's
getting laid, and
he's like, oh god, he's delivering like a presentation in front of people. He's like, and our quarterly sorry, it's my twin brother. He's
serving food in a restaurant and just suddenly has a huge boner.
Yeah.
I feel it. Real quick though.
I didn't order the T-bone steak.
Terrible. So, real quick though, my favorite thing about this, Elena is a traveling singer, which is great. You know, she was a singer, songstress for Granas or whatever, and now she knows that Granas is dead. She has turned into such a fucking new age hippie chick at the end of this game. Like, I bet she's got a crystal collection and a fucking tarot deck, and I swear to God, it's the weirdest end for this character.
You're laughing at that, but if we lived in a universe where we know for a fact that God is not real, would that be any more ridiculous than anything else?
Yes. The idea is that, like, you worshipped God your whole life, and now you know that he was both evil and dead. You should probably just, like, get on with life and not, like, find a new other thing to, like, make your whole personality.
What are you talking about? Her job before was, like, being a nun. What is she gonna do?
Also, like, they have eggs that give them superpowers. Why is, like, thinking a crystal is cool? So, like,
all right, that's fair. That is a fair point. I can only compare it to the real world, where it is super lame.
It is super lame. If you believe crystals...
if you believe in healing crystals, go take your unvaccinated self to the fucking forest, because I don't want to hang out with you.
I dated a girl for a minute who was into, like, she had a real thing for crystals, and I just could not take it seriously.
No, how can you take it seriously? Anyway,
sometimes they're nice to rub. Like, if you have one in your pocket, you can rub a little rock.
Crystals are cool. They look cool.
Do you rub it on, like, a wound to heal your wound faster?
No.
Shiny rocks are neat. I noticed that Johnny's being very quiet right now, which implies that maybe he is one of these people.
Healing.
He does live in a hippy-dippy town.
Yeah, you live in a hippy-dippy town. The 51st
No,
state.
I didn't like the lifted pickup trucks with "fuck Carney" stickers part of town. I'm not in the hippy-dippy part of town.
Oh, so you're the hippy-dippy part of the town.
I guess so.
Anyway, Elena has not seen Ryudo, and then it just kind of cuts. She says the same thing Millennia said, which is that she knows he'll come back when he's done, which, like, so what's he going to do? I think that he is going to be the man that has families in 2 towns. I'm opposed to this on a moral standpoint. Polygamy is fine if that's what you want to do, but I don't know that that's what's going on here, man. But we cut to Ryudo, and he is climbing a mountain. He buries the Granas saber, I guess.
He just sticks it in the ground, doesn't he?
Does he? There's a grave.
No, he buries
There's
it.
a mound of dirt.
Yeah, he buries it.
He buries it?
I wasn't sure if he was the grave was the sword or his brother or the sword and his brother. And also, it was an above ground burial. Like, he should be digging deeper.
Yeah, dig a hole, deeper, motherfucker. Yeah. I initially was like, oh, I guess he's taken his brother's body to this like beautiful mountain and is burying him there. That's sweet. But then it turns out that it is my impression, as I understood it, it is just the sword that he has buried on this mountain. His brother left to rot in the sun like a dog, like roadkill.
Didn't his body disappear?
Yeah, his body disappeared.
The sword that I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it is. Never explained it in any way, shape, or form, other than it's called the Granas Saber. That deserves a proper burial. So he buries the sword, and he's like, and sword, you'll be able to see all the changes to the world from here. It's a sword, dude. It can't see. And that's it. That's the end of the game.
And you get a nice the end.
Mm-hmm. And there's like a picture of two fairies flitting around in the sky.
Aww.
John, did you feel the need to go around and talk to everybody in the epilogue? Because you do go back to these towns as Roan, and you can walk around and talk to fucking everyone.
And everyone still has like 3 different dialogue things to say, but no, I gave up pretty fast.
Yeah, what's the
Me
point?
too. One thing I did want to do that you can't, every town I went to, I tried to go to the general store because I was like, I wonder what's in the general stores now, because like it's not going to be an upgraded version of anything. Mm-hmm. So I was like, maybe I'll just spend all of my money on things.
You can't get into
I'll
them,
never
right?
need it again, but you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
No,
you can't go to the inns, you can't go into
them.
the stores, you can't do anything.
You do find like the son of Mao, and the son of Mao's like making songs for his friends and stuff, and there's some cute stuff. And I like that all the kids love their teacher. Hot for teacher. They aren't hot for teacher, they're kids, but they love her. And and she's like, ugh, I guess these little shits really like me, huh? Ugh. It was fine. It was too long.
So yeah, end of Grandia 2. That's it.
We did it.
It's time for Squarely Against.
Right now we have a pretty good Grandia pace. We're almost 10 years in, so that we're at a pace of about one Grandia every 4.5 years.
I would play Grandia 3 right fucking now.
I would not.
I guess that's a good segue as any, Matt, into our Squarely Against segment. How did you feel about Grandia 2? Squarely Against roundly 4?
Okay. I loved this game. Legitimately has rocketed to the top of my JRPG list. You know, it is up there for me, slightly below, but it is up there for me with your Final Fantasy X, your Final Fantasy IX, your Personas 3s, 4s, and 5s. Like, I fucking loved this game. As a JRPG, it was phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, of course, it gets wishy-washy at the end, and there's a lot of problematic elements, particularly towards the beginning. But also, it's like a 25-year-old game. Like, shit happens. Like, I'm not going to hold it against it. I had a blast. I have said this to you recently in the chat, but I really thank you for picking this game because I cannot believe how much I liked it. What a fantastic game. Definitely as a remaster, which is what we play, or what I played. A few minor quibbles about quality of life improvements that they didn't add that other games had. But overall, I had a blast. Every weekend I sat down, I was ahead of the curve on this game. Every weekend I sat down and played the whole chunker and was just eating it up the whole time, having a fucking blast. The combat is fantastic. At least mostly towards the end, it becomes watch the same cutscene over and over again, which again, quality of life, like give me a skip. And yeah, the plot doesn't make a ton of sense and it's stupid, but I had so much fun. What a great game. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. What about you, Vanessa? Are you roundly for or squarely against this game?
Well, I think this game is fine. I didn't fall in love with it, and I didn't fall in hate with it. And if you're looking for, this era of JRPG, that's what you're gonna get. It was
So,
good. It was
Vanessa,
fine.
you want to put Grandia 2 on the Grandia pile, it sounds like.
I want to put it on the Grandia pile. The pile of games that are fine. Neither an exceptionally good time for me or a tediously bad time. Fine game, well made. I have nothing really to say against it, but there was nothing that really sort of hooked me in the right way to make me super invested in this game. But that's pretty normal for me on this show because I like Western RPGs, the besters.
You mean Western RPGs?
I like Western RPGs. Johnny, are you roundly for or squarely against Grandia 2?
It's fine. Again, it's on the Grandia pile, which I don't want to be dismissive because there's a lot of good games that I really like in the Grandia pile, like Lost Odyssey and Phantasy Star 4. But I don't like this game as much as either of those, even if it is, I would say, a better translated game than you know what though? I really didn't like Ryudo's writing for the first half of the game. Although it got boring in the second half, at least he wasn't Dennis Miller, But it was fine. I thought that
he had like a character arc because
and I knew that was
that.
I knew that it was coming. Like you could tell that he was being a
that's
jerk
true.
to be less of a jerk
he
later.
went from 0 to like chivalrous.
Saint. Yeah.
Chivalrous saint in like one scene.
Yeah. But it was fine. Like it plays well. I like the combat. I like the way you level up stuff. It needs a zoomed out map, which was also my problem with Grandia 1, that it's way too zoomed in and making it harder to navigate these dungeons and annoying still camera issues, but it's fine. It's a good game. What about you, Jim?
Roundly 4. I think this is a fun game. The combat's really easy to get into, and the timing of it is really fun and satisfying. I'm with you guys. The worst part about it was Ryudo's writing. But I think it's such a compact, fun little JRPG experience. There's like no fat on this game.
Yeah, that's true.
It is all plot. It's all plot, all combat, all cutscene. It's a real chunky little JRPG that's just really satisfying, I think.
I'd almost say there's not enough fat on it. Like I would have liked a little bit of side quests and like a little more.
It's pretty bare bones.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones.
But yeah, good game. I picked this game up. Like I had always heard it was good, and then I wanted a JRPG that I had never played for my Steam Deck, just to play when I'm in bed, just like waiting to get tired enough to go to sleep, and decided to pick this up. And I was like, dang, this is a really good game. So decided to play for the show, and I'm glad you guys also thought it was at least okay. It's always nice when a recommendation comes through. A lot of times we pick games on this show that the other host.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about.
Speaking of, did we announce our next game?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Well, our next game is
Grim Fandango.
Oh yeah, we have Grim Fandango next. But
speaking of, has everybody squarely against it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
next
have one
time.
more thing to say.
Okay.
I think what would have pushed this game over the edge for me is if those weird circus freaks from the beginning had to come back. Like guy with the giant fork and his...
They do come back.
Weird creep. Well, they're back, but they don't do anything, It's like they needed a grand quest, or they needed to be a boss battle or something.
You should have been able to put one of them in your party.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, what were you going to say?
Oh, my internet got funky there. What did Vanessa say? I missed it.
I liked those carnival circus guys, the weirdos. I wanted more weirdos that had more to do in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because kind of like I said, like it needed a little, like it maybe almost could have used a little more fat, like a little more silly shit like that. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say next time we are starting Grim Fandango, And we will be playing Year 1 and Year 2 of Grim Fandango. You voted for it. You get it.
And so do we, and I'm excited. I started it today.
I'm excited too. I'm waiting for the weekend, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've never played it. I've really wanted to play it for a long time. Never gotten around to it. There is a remaster on Game Pass that I've already downloaded. We expect this to be a quick 2-episode season, so we will dive quickly from that into Enchanted Arms in 3 weeks, and then after that we will have a vote.
That being said, Matt, if Grim Fandango is 2 chunkers, where does the first chunker end?
He just said we are playing
Oh,
year
you did.
1 and year
Research
2.
facility. It's
Oh,
at the
sorry.
research facility where
the birthplace
two
of the
scientists
gods, you mean?
become gods.
Yeah, where they're scientists. That's
Oh, the
right.
birthplace of the gods, where
Yeah.
2 scientists
the
engaged in
research
research
station.
and ascended to godhood.
I was too
right.
busy trying to prove Matt wrong to listen to Matt proving himself wrong.
I wasn't proving myself wrong. You didn't read far. You read one word and you jumped. It specifically says that implies that. Okay, so that is enough for Square Roots' video game corner. We're done. We're not talking about video games no more. We're going to talk about how we leveled up. And I would like Jim to start us off.
I went and saw a great horror film called Until Dawn. I went and saw a movie called Until Dawn. It's purportedly based on the video game, but actually has really nothing to do with the video game.
We recorded a whole bonus episode about it that is out now on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Yeah. Check out the Patreon. We have a hot, fresh, new bonus episode out. Patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast.
The folks on the Discord appreciated John's comments about being a big baby that needs his sugar water and our discussion of rain and how it works.
I've also played a bunch of Clair Obscur. I won't talk a ton about it because I know it's going to annoy Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to set my timer right now.
But it's pretty good. Combat's great. The graphics look amazing. The enemies are cool. The characters are neat. It's a good game. Great turn-based RPG. And I think that's all that I did to level up. Vanessa, how did you level up?
Well, I went to see a movie called Sinners, which actually was a great horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
I recommend it to anyone and everyone all the time. If Sinners is playing near you, and it probably is, go see it. I also played some more Blueprints, and I think I'm done with it. Not in the sense that I've done all the puzzles and things like that. I just need a break from it for a while. It's a roguelike, so it gets very repetitive, and I sunk tons and tons of hours into it, enjoyed what I did, but it's time for a little something different. And then, of course, at the time of recording, which is May 1st, 2025, it's Taskmaster UK Premiere Night. That's right, it's back, and this time we have Jeffrey Character Wheaties in character as Jason Mantzoukas, and he is very good, I would say. I mean, I don't mean good as in necessarily good at the tasks, but you can tell he's a super fan. He's having a good time. In the studio segment, he just seems to be grinning the whole time because he is so happy to be on Taskmaster.
That's how I was
nice to
weird
see.
because
on Taskmaster.
You're talking as if you've already seen it.
Yeah, it comes out
Right.
tomorrow, Vanessa.
Tomorrow.
No, it came out tonight, May 1st, all across the UK, and then tomorrow, at the time of recording, the rest of the world will get to see it on the YouTube.
So have you seen it or not? I'm confused by your phrasing.
Had I been in the United Kingdom, I certainly would have watched it.
course.
You've already watched it. You son of
That
a
is
bitch.
that is not an answer to my question.
Do you know what a VPN is, Jim? I'm asking you a
Vanessa
question.
Perceives show.
VPN.
Vanessa's
For Vanessa perceives no.
Vanessa's private network.
Yeah, she just used the Vanessa private network between her and Alex Horn.
She can watch whatever she wants on Vanessa's private network.
Yeah.
I would say that nobody who can say what I've watched and what I haven't watched. By the time this show comes out, I will have watched it. Put it that way.
Yeah, and that's just, it's like we just perceive time in a linear way. Technically, you're watching it right now all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I have watched it. I will watch it. I am watching it. It's all things can be true. If for some reason you still haven't gotten into Taskmaster, even though I talk about it all the time on the show until Matt starts to cry, but you're a fan of Jason Mantzoukas, check it out. I think that his improv background really has a chance to shine in these situations, and it makes me happy to see him happy. And how's that for a parasocial relationship?
I'm excited for it as well, actually. And I think I have not watched the last couple of seasons because I did watch like 15 seasons in a row. So, but I'm excited. I love Jason Mantzoukas. He is one of my favorites. And this looks good.
And we also have Rosie Ramsey, who is the second spouse of a former contestant on the show. So that's a fun pattern. You get the husband, and then, a few series later, you get the wives.
Now, was this one married to Mr. Bean?
Hotel? No, it's that guy who catch Nightmare Hotel or Hell Hotel.
Yeah,
that guy.
Ramsey's
Gord
wife,
Ramsay?
Rosie
Yeah, it's his wife.
No, it's the wife of Chris Ramsey, who on his season made the hot dog machine that slapped him in the face. I think that's his most memorable moment.
Don't remember.
Matt doesn't remember. Maybe it's one of the seasons he skipped. And that is how I leveled up. I'm racking my... Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to say. I started watching the new season of The Rehearsal, which was a show that I know Jim and I watched, but I don't think anyone else did. This is
I tried.
Nathan Field. This is the Nathan Fielder show where he builds super elaborate sets in order to kind of practice something in someone's life.
And season 2 is out. I thought Jim was going to talk about that.
I haven't seen. It's only 2 episodes have been released so far. I haven't seen either of them yet. I honestly I have to kind of psyching myself up for it in a way. Sometimes watching that show can kind of take a lot out of you, especially if you get secondhand embarrassment, like I do. Watching those can be a process in and of itself. So I haven't really had the wherewithal to jump in yet, but I do want to watch it.
It's one of the most unique pieces of television that's being made right now, I think I would say.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Nathan Fielder this morning, and the interviewer was like, a lot of people who have seen your show say they just can't hang in, they just don't like the cringy stuff, and he's like every interaction is cringy if you think about it.
Yeah.
He's like, at least for me, he's like, but he's like, in TV it's actually safer because the camera's cut. He's like, in real life there's no cutting and it's just awkward all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's like I don't know how that answers that question or like responds to that. Like, it's even worse for me. Okay, well, you're doing it to yourself.
I've heard other comedians have the same sentiment. I think it's, there's a certain kind of person who tends to think things over and overanalyze everything, including every interaction they have, so where it kind of replays in your head. And I'm guilty of that sometimes too. I'm definitely one of those like falling asleep and I remember something embarrassing I did in 5th grade and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, me too.
I'm the worst. I think I'm probably the most embarrassing person on the face of the planet. Really.
Yeah, but unlike the rest of humanity who should learn how to put that behind them and understand that everybody feels that way, Vanessa, you are actually.
No, I know. I'm history's greatest monster.
Yeah.
It's not true for everybody else, but
Yeah.
Like, I have this thing where if I start getting into a spiral in the middle of a grocery store because I hear that Brian, what's his name? Canada's apologized for Brian Adams song, where I sang it at someone's wedding and I didn't really know them and I sang it badly, and I think about myself doing that, and then I stop and can't move because I'm so embarrassed for a stupid thing I did in 1998. And I've learned that there's a thing you can do where you say out loud to yourself, that was a long time ago, and you've learned from that experience, and you can't beat yourself up for it, and then it's okay, and your brain it gets my brain out of that cycle, right? And I would recommend that to almost everyone who gets these kind of moments where they start dwelling on embarrassment, except for Vanessa, because she should think about those more.
Yeah, she should.
Yeah.
yeah. Are you sure you've remembered everything, Vanessa? There's got to be more.
Great question. There's one time when I was like 13 and I ran into this adult and she was talking to me and I was pretending like I remembered who she was, but I didn't. And then she said, "Oh, you don't remember who I am, do you?" And I said, "Oh, yes, I do," but I didn't. And she knew and I knew and she knew I knew, and it was awful. And later I remembered I met her at my mom's friend's party.
For normal people, I would say you should really just, again, forgive yourself for it. That way it won't keep coming back up. You have to, like, out loud forgive yourself. But again, this is not advice for you, Vanessa, because you need to learn
Right.
from that mistake.
Yeah, Vanessa, tell us more embarrassing stories. What else have you done
Gosh,
that keeps you awake at night?
That's it, actually. That's
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we got through it. Vanessa, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, she does. Specifically,
Never
she needs to.
Yeah, that was actually really bad. That was way worse than anything.
Anything I've ever done.
And I'm sure that woman thinks about it every single day. The time a young tween
I mean, the
girl
best part
didn't
about it is
remember
that
who she was.
she probably does as she's going to sleep, and she's like, "I embarrassed that girl so bad, I humiliated myself. I feel like such a terrible person." But she's wrong, and you're right.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say she like thinks just, "Oh, I embarrassed that girl," and like rubs her hands together, and she's like, "Life is."
And that's how everyone else
in
deals
the world
with it.
that deserved it. It's
Inflicted
that
lifelong
Vanessa.
trauma on some fucking idiot. And that's how Vanessa leveled up.
Oh yeah, Matt, how do you level up?
All right. Yeah, I saw a movie in theaters. It was called Until Dawn. I didn't regret it. That's the best I can say about it. We recorded a whole bonus podcast episode about it. I am 350 episodes into One Piece. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? It's still so funny and delightful. Like I'm not recommending it to anybody. Like, nobody needs to watch 1,000 episodes of a TV show, but
Is it like that, like
it.
Star Trek, where you just have to skip the Klingon episodes, but the Klingon episodes are the fight episodes?
yeah, yes, very much so. Like, I kind of wish there was a guide. I am following the guide, so as large as that number sounds, there are definitely like blocks of episodes that I'm just skipping right past. But I wish there was a guide that was like, the fight starts here and it ends here, and go ahead and skip everything in between, because that would be amazing. I don't give a shit about the fights. Anyway, but the show's fucking good. I'm real hooked. Still real hooked. And finally, hey, Jim, what's that behind you? You should take your headphones off and go check. I think it's a ghost. Yeah, get up. Get up from your seat.
No, well, now I'm scared.
Get up
I don't want to do
from
that.
your seat.
I think that's
And
Hank.
take your
Why?
headphones
That's Hank.
off. I need you to take your headphones off.
I don't want to take the head. Why would I take my headphones
He
off?
wants to
Because
say
I
something. He
need
doesn't
you-
want you to hear it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, take your headphones off. Put them down. I've been playing Clear Obscure, and it's... Oh, nope. You gotta take those headphones
No, wait,
off.
what?
I need you to take your headphones off.
I'm not going to say anything.
Are you saying Jim's a
Don't-
spoil machine?
No, I just don't even want him to have to hear this because I know it's going to hurt him in his soul.
It's not.
I've
I
been
just know that you're
playing
wrong.
Claire Obscure, and it is fine. I know that Jim is hyping it up like it's the best game you've ever heard of. It is a pretty well done mashup of Dark Souls and Final Fantasy, and I'm just going to tell you listeners, if you don't like Dark Souls, you're probably not going to like Claire Obscure.
I don't like Dark Souls.
It looks great, and the plot and characters are very well done. I'm only about 10 hours in, but they're very well done and interesting, and I'm very interested in where it's going to go. But the actual gameplay, for me, sucks. I don't like it. There's a story mode. I've considered turning it on, but then a lot of times when you're playing games in story mode, they're just kind of bland. And do I really want to do that? Or do I just want to dump this fucking thing? And it's probably the latter. I don't know that I'm going to finish it. We'll see. Oblivion's staring at me. Every time I turn on my Xbox, Oblivion's like, you could be having so much fun right now. But instead, you're going to fight this putat 6 times and hate your life. So I just wanted to give a bit of a counterpoint there, even though I know that Jim loves it, and I'm glad that he's enjoying it so much, and people all around the world are celebrating this game. I'm seeing a lot of like, this is what JRPGs should be, and I would rather die. I will fight you to the death. It's fine, you know? It's pretty good, but gameplay-wise, boy, I'm having a bad time. I did want to... Jim, you can put your headphones back on. Thank you. I did want to revisit something that Jim shared with us in the group earlier this week. Can you remind me, Jim? It was something about... It was like a review, and you were like, the last paragraph of this review perfectly explains my feelings on Claire Obscure.
Yeah, I don't remember what it said, though.
Well, I don't know how to find it now, but it was something along the lines of like, playing Claire Obscure takes me back to when I was 10 years old, and it makes me feel like a little boy playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time.
Yeah, it does.
And I just wanted to say to you, as just a suggestion, probably don't tell that to Amanda, because we don't want her to get arrested for going to bed every night with a 10-year-old boy.
That's what I tell her when I go to sleep. Be like, I love Claire Obscure, and now I'm 10 years old. Good night. I love you.
Anyway, last week I told my whole story of my shoulder injury, which is doing much better. It still hurts. Still fucking hurts, but not as much. But I left out something that I did want to talk about, which is that I went to a fucking great concert. Friends, I went to a cool new amphitheater out in Clearwater. Yes, there were, in fact, a lot of Scientologists around. It was weird. But I went to a cool new amphitheater in Clearwater, not on the beach, but on the bay or whatever. And I saw a band called Krang.
Yeah, that's where Krang sits inside that big robot. Is the Krang bin in Krang's robosuit tummy.
And that's the band that's just Krang in his robosuit and his brain tummy singing while the robot plays the guitar. I went and saw Krang Bin.
That sounds way better than what you actually saw.
It really doesn't. I'm sorry about your shitty taste. It was fucking fantastic. They're like a kind of psychedelic, funky band. I don't know. Wikipedia describes it as like world rock, but they're just kind of a band out of Houston, Texas that plays mostly like heavy instrumentals, a lot of guitar, not a lot of effects. Not a lot of vocals, though there's some, and it's real chill, like vibe music. And I went to that show. I went with a friend. He had taken some THC medicine before, medicinal gummies before we went into the show. And I could tell that he was vibing out and having a good time. I did not, because I'm not down with that type of thing. And I legitimately, by the end of the show, we were walking out and I was like, I feel like I took one of those fucking gummies. Like, I feel stoned. Like, the lights and the fucking wild music and just everything. Like, just what a great fucking show. Musically, they are just as good live as their albums and stuff, which I'm not shocked by. I've watched a lot of their live stuff on YouTube. It was fucking great. Krangbin, K8 is KHRUANGBIN. And like, if you like kind of psychedelic rock, like, check that out. It was a fucking great time. It was looked like a sold out show to me. But just, they were absolutely incredible live, and I had so much fun. And it's a real bummer that I broke my body in half the next day. And that's how I leveled up. What about you, Jonathan Brandon?
Mostly been editing, and that's kind of been taking up all my time. I'm sure I saw Until Dawn, and that was exciting. And I've been rewatching 30 Rock. I gave up on Parks and Rec. Basically, I find, like, after the Harvest Festival, the show's kind of just slowly dwindles.
Yeah.
I know there's good episodes after
shitty.
that.
Well, the cast starts leaving.
Yeah. I don't like that. I want the show to be funny forever with all the same cast members, but that's not physically possible. Sometimes Troy has to leave on a boat with LeVar Burton, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. And you have to be
Sometimes
okay with
Rob
that.
Lowe leaves along with Annie, and you're like, this is a real bummer. These were kind of my favorite characters on the show.
Mm-hmm. Or a show is very short, like an English show, so that they can sort of account for that.
Oh, like Happy Endings, which only lasted 3 seasons and should have lasted 100 seasons.
Yeah, or Good Place, which is only 4 seasons. And it's a great
Good
show,
Place
and I
tells
think-
its story, though, you know?
Yeah, no, and I'm fine with that. I think that's a good way to do it, but, it's tricky.
Yo, here we go. Tricky.
Oh, here we go.
Jim has turned around in his seat and I think is biting his fist and crying because he's so angry about my take on Claire Obscure.
I'm trying to lure my cat over here.
Otherwise, I've been kind of sick, so haven't been doing anything super interesting, just editing. And getting over my cold. I'll try to edit out all my coughs and sneezes. And that's
You bought
it.
a new TV?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I can't. Thank you. I did get a new TV because my old one died. And that was a shame. And the new TV is here. And it is a OLED panel with like super bright HDR. All the HDR content looks amazing. You don't need an OLED panel. But if you do have the ability to get an OLED panel, definitely games look different. Like they just look so much different because everything's so, it's like a CRT how the image looks completely different due to how black everything gets. Because the thing with an OLED is it can turn on and off the brightness of parts of the TV, so by pixel. So like you can have dark scenes that are just black and not like milky gray because you still have the brightness of the monitor behind it. It's really cool, but it's not necessary. But I'm just getting it because I hope I can use this for work, because this is a monitor or a TV that's good enough to do some light color work. So that's a goal for me. That does mean I'm not getting a Switch, but I probably wasn't getting a Switch anyways because I didn't get I signed up for the Nintendo pre-order and didn't get it. So that's okay.
Oh, was it like a lottery?
Yeah, Nintendo, like if you sign up, there's a link in your Switch where it's like scan this QR code and then we'll sign you up. But I don't think I'm getting it. That's okay. You know what? I'll get one next year. It's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
and,
that's I didn't. I could have jumped on this pre-orders and I didn't. Like I don't need it day one. Like it's not necessary.
Now you gonna play some Mario Kart?
I'm going to.
That's part of it,
keep
man. If they
reviewing
were
Switch
like
games.
Breath of the Wild 3, I would fucking. I know that Tears of the Kingdom just came out, so of course that wasn't going to happen. But like, there's not really
Just
a day
came
one
out.
game that I mean, comparatively, There's
Was
not really
it
a
2
day one
years?
game.
Like 2022, didn't it?
Okay, it takes them longer than that to make a fucking big old
Yeah,
open world
that's true.
Zelda game.
Yeah.
It took them 7 years to make Tears of the Kingdom, and that has a lot of content from the first, or locations from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, have you leveled up?
Yep. I've already gone.
Vanessa, and she's
I think that's
leveled
Everybody
up.
went.
That's everybody.
That
We
is
did
everybody.
it.
Wow.
Yay!
Well, before we go, I'll remind everyone that we do have a Patreon. It's at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. We did just release our episode on Until Dawn. Maybe we should announce we also have a new subscription tier. We now allow you to, if you would like to become a paid subscriber, you can do so annually for a pretty sweet discount. So check that out. If you'd like to pay monthly at the $3 level, you can get access to the tons and tons of bonus content that we have on our Patreon. For $5, you get access to all that content, plus the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. We're actually starting a vote game next week, which is Grim Fandango, so check that out. Followed by that, we'll have a host pick game, and then we will rotate to another vote. So if you'd like to have your voice heard in the games we play on the show, subscribe at the $5 level. Another benefit of being a patron is that we like to personally thank some of them on the show every week. I'm going to start us off this week by thanking My Battery is Low, Ryan, Kodab Games, Jake Dickerson, Daniel Wood, Jason Timms, Sean Walsh, Sergeant Spaghetti, Ryan Schmidt, and Ed Franco.
I'd like to thank... Oh, this is the wrong document. That's what I'm doing wrong. I'd like to thank Respectable Name, Sol Wagner, Andy Best, Tyler, Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, Gigantified Micro Space Hamster, Huxley Iguana, Ross Hartley, Rubber Bear, Wash in the Wind. Oh, Jim, before we move on to the next person, can you tell us about this annual pass?
Yeah, so whatever tier you decide to subscribe at, we have a new payment option that will allow you to actually pay for an annual membership at a 30% discount. So never a better time to jump in. There's a ton of content on there. It'll probably take you a year just to get through it. There's a lot of stuff on there. So
100
yeah,
episodes.
that's available now. Patreon.com/SquareRootsPodcast.
I'd like to thank Tracy the Borg Queen. Ooh. Josh Holt, is that a Grana saber in your pocket, or are you just happy to see Millennia? Doom
Hey-o!
Train, Justin Ham, Stephen Paget, Ron, Samu Mitchell, and Tracy.
I would like to thank Anthony Lerma, Nufford, Mostly Rational Person, Sean Gonzalez, David Arnold, Keysby Knight, Join the Princess Posse, Garrett of Thivia, The Filcher, William Westgard, and Dr. Fine. Say everyone's name. I love that is still that patron's name, because for a long time it was like, you don't need to say all the names. And we were like, fuck it, yeah, we do. And then we finally gave in and said, we don't, but still Dr. Fine.
Well, the list started to get really long, too.
Well, now we do it. But first, their name was Fine, say everyone's name, but then they got a doctorate. It's true. That's the origin of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email that we will read on the show
Next week,
you can email us. You can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Blue Sky at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Oh,
please
don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on Ghana, Spotify, or one of those many other services that do it. And yeah, if you leave a little review, that always helps the show. Yeah, we need to grow.
Well, we need to advertise.
And thanks to Stephen Morris for making our theme.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Oh, wait, hold on. For Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
Vanessa!
Bye.